You're listening to Tales from the Flipside. Tales from the Flipside. Tales from the Flipside.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Monday Night Live on the Flipside channel. You are here with the flagship show. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell because we got a ton of new shows coming your way. You won't know unless you hit that bell when they're hitting live. You want to watch a lot of these shows live. Trust me, it makes it way better. You might get into some crazy drunken chat only fans. You never know. I'm here with all the boys tonight. We got a couple extras. We love when extras join us, and we love everybody in the live chat. So let's try and do some counterclockwise craziness or something. Maybe I don't know how we're gonna do this, but introduce yourself, gentlemen.
You want to go left to right? Just left to right down the page, like reading.
All right, John Z here. Excited to have a full freaking house, guys. Looks good.
Nico, your weekend update correspondent with Comic Book Invest. If you get a chance, please check out the weekend update. You will be the sixth person that reads the article on Saturdays. Thanks.
Fifth, I didn't get to it yet.
God damn it. Oh, incidentally, this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have Rick from Rick's Neat Stuff. And Brian, Heritage Comics Greater, the most underappreciated IG period, live. So if you've got questions about Heritage, big boy books, and things you just don't understand about comics, this would be the opportune time to write them down and ask the pros.
That sounds awesome.
I'm Sean. I got nothing to promote.
We're just glad you're here, brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Define 999, glad to be back. It's been a while since I've been on the Monday show. I'm excited to be back and watch me and John Z on Global Comic Safari. We're just going through the foreign love like crazy, checking everything out. We recently did a pickup show. Hopefully now, as the year ends, we are going to be doing a top 5 books of the year. We like to do that because we just pull the biggest massive foreigns that heads have been pulling out of that. And of course, check out our set shows. Our set shows are fun. They're a lot of work, but they're a lot of fun when we do them. And thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Pit-Up's here. I don't know. Happy to hang out. So glad I can make it.
Dino, I'm here every day.
He's still waiting on the polls to be delivered, guys.
Every day.
Every day in the back, man. I'm a giant global icon of national treasure. Let's go.
All right. Well, we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about tonight. Before we do, I want to go ahead and remind everybody. You know what we do around here? We love Comic Barricade, and you should too. So go check out Comic Barricade. Use the promo code Flipside for 10% off of your order. Listen, if you don't know about Comic Barricade, there's a problem. These things will make your life much easier. Go check out their card stoppers too. If you want to score some Comic Barricades for your cards, you can find those at cardstopper.com. But remember to use the code word Flipside for 10% off of your order. All right, gentlemen. See, let's get into the news of the week, huh?
Oh, you're waiting on me for the news. Okay. I put in the notes, Naomi to TV.
Well, listen, this was something that kind of popped. I can't remember if it got announced right before Hot 10 or right before Flipside last week. It was one of the two. And we just weren't ready to talk about it because it had just popped. And here we go, Naomi going from dead spec. I mean, that was a dead spec, dead as a doornail for a while.
It was hot as hell for the month or two it was going.
Yes, but then it completely died, and now the CW news came out I thought it was very interesting that when that happened, you got a lot of people saying, "God dang it, why is it on CW?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, like at least it's being out there.
I think CW is not a bad place to be.
Yeah, where else? What's the preferred format?
Well, it's either that or HBO Max.
Yeah.
HBO Max.
But I here's the thing. This is a character with what, 8 issues? 6?
6.
6
Yeah.
issue miniseries. So they do not have anything to draw upon, which is a plus and a minus. I mean, you can go wherever you want, but it's interesting they're just going with a character with not a huge story and catalog of information.
I think CW is the perfect fit because they can cross over with all their other shows. There's not much to go on, so they can do whatever they want with it. If it's HBO Max, I think it limits the creative freedom as far as mixing it.
All
in my
that was
opinion.
that was you doing your fucking old school speech right there, man. Impressive.
It should have been on the Sci-Fi Network.
No.
Oh yeah.
You're
Remember
right,
when they
Paul.
renamed themselves Sci-Fi? Jesus.
I know that
Well, the ability to do crossovers with the other shows is key. If
Yeah,
any
I
of them
know.
are still around, I mean, because they're quickly dropping like flies.
that Ava DuVernay. I know she's a big name. What else didn't she write and produce something that was big on HBO recently? Or was that somebody else? What else has she done? She's done something else that's really big too. I've heard her name before. So at least it's somebody that at least I've heard before, which is saying a lot. So I usually don't know anything about these producers or people that come out, but at least it's somebody heading the ship that has a name out there.
Any
yeah.
opinions from you, Nico?
I was too lazy to hurry up and sell my books this weekend. I'm disappointed in myself, and now I've got to wait until the first episode to sell all of my books. And then after nobody cares about them again, like they just recently no longer cared about them, I'll buy them back and wait for nostalgia to set in 20 years.
Yeah, so you
Or
missed
if my
the
house
opportunity for
burns
a
down.
sell and rebuy.
Yeah, if my house burns down, I'll try to collect on insurance. But anyway, yeah, CW sucks, dude. It's
She
fucking
directed-
tragic if you really cared about that. It was not a bad series.
She directed Selma.
It also says Wonder World Comics says A Wrinkle in Time.
I mean, I can try to be really, which was fucking hot trash. I can try to be really hopeful and suggest that, new property on the CW, the advent of HBO Max and DC and AT&T really look like they're trying to double down on their media, but that's just me talking shit.
I'm not saying that. What I was meaning is I think CW is the right place for this character in this show because of how little there is to go on. If there was, 9 trade paperbacks, or if it was Watchmen or something, HBO Max would probably be the proper setting for it budget wise. But I think given on the background, CW is probably the best they could do, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, they can just throw her with, whatever is going on in the storyline. She's free.
Yeah, pretty much. And this just goes into I kept sort of passing over, not dollar bin prices or something like that, but like when I noticed number 1 dropping, first appearance, etc., and the later prints, and I'd see them online sometimes, and I'm like, man, I'm probably missing out on buying it, considering first appearances and popularity of female characters and such right now, especially. And I'm sitting here, I'm going like, I'm gonna regret this. And I was like, and I swear I was thinking, I'm like, I think it's about that time. I think it's dropped enough. I think I need to buy some of this shit. And sure as shit, the goddamn show announcement. And I was like, I gotta trust myself or be more pointed. I'm gonna try to do more pointed buying.
You always wait for it to get a little cheaper, like 10% more up.
A little cheaper. Is there going to be eBay bucks this week? Like,
Right.
like I don't know really. And then if you're wrong, you're wrong. I mean, it's not like I don't know what I have left. I think I just have some of the single issues, and then some of them. I think 5 and 6. There's some. I think it was. I forgot. Somebody pointed out to me 5 or 6 had like some silhouettes in the back.
I think that's Sean.
Is that me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Whatever you did at work, dude.
I did nothing.
I know.
I didn't touch anything. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And so I think they had a lot of those later issues. You can actually find those will be cheaper, but like 5 or 6 had some silhouettes of like future characters. So I have a feeling like at the very end there could be some sort of origin cameo that could make those a little more desirable. And my comic shop put those on sale for $1 each. And I had like 10 of each in my cart because I was like, it's $20. Like I get a lot of comics. And then then the sale turned off. And so they went back to like $2 or $3. And I was like, nah, that's way too much money. But anyway, I don't know. If somebody has them handy, you're just going to look it up. 5 or 6 had some silhouettes and other things like that I think could be maybe decent. We know how spec is these days. Every little thing to figure out somebody's one of those silhouettes those are going to take off. But
everyone's, if you're not a comic collector unless you've experienced the black thumb where you have it and it never takes off and you could have had it and it explodes. I mean, if you can't say that's happened to you, then you're not a comic collector yet. Sorry.
You know what? Thanks, Steve, for that. To be honest, I think he probably gave me that idea a while ago. So thanks, dude. I'm trying to.
Hey, and shout out to Tim Walker, who, Christ, I don't know, a month, 2 weeks before this news dropped, was like, people are buying Naomi. They bought all of my copies online. Something's happening with this book. We've always seen that happen with guys who are really smart and do a better job of listing books than I do, for example. They'll catch the trend. The information leaks out. He did and was kind enough to share it with a number of different people. I still wasn't smart enough to buy more copies.
No, yeah, and Tim's he's a good dude for the analytical, like the sales aspects, like because it's he looks at it more monetarily than he does as far as reading. So
yeah, he has no emotional tie. He
has 0 fucking ties.
Strong.
Yeah, he has.
Impressive.
He is like Moneyball of comics, man.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he'll come up with stuff like that just out of nowhere. Like it's that. Well, this is selling. You're like, okay, I had no idea. Yeah.
Every now and then, don't we get it's been a while, but every now and then we hear stories in smaller private chats of, I just sold a comic to someone named Robert Kirkman. Like,
yeah.
What do you guys think? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Someone had he was buying copies of a Spider-Man like 360. 344, 45. The
Carnage.
First Cletus Cassidy, but obviously not as Carnage yet. So he does that, and I'm like, well, he's just probably interested, I guess. And he bought him. Didn't he buy him from us, Dino? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he bought them.
Yeah,
he bought and he didn't buy like 1 copy.
Yeah,
he bought like 2 or 3 copies, and we just sent him an extra copy because he Robert Kirkman.
Like, can we get a shout out for 3 copy, please?
and he didn't.
It's just one of those people who
you weren't noted at the end of an episode or anything.
It's one of those people who just happens to have the same exact name. You guys ever heard the stories of I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger and I go to a hotel and you think you're getting some super upgrade until they look at you and they're like, oh, that was a mistake. You're not the Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're just Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I would have thought of that, but it shipped to the office of Kirkman. So.
Yeah. Over here to
I'd have an alias in a PO box, but I don't know, whatever.
Maybe he doesn't think he's big enough yet.
Yeah, who's that?
Yeah, but
Kirkman with a C, right? Is that how you spell it?
What?
Yeah.
Not famous enough. Never mind.
So, was there any other news of the week? I mean,
there's a ton. We pulled it down. You want to run through it, Dino?
Yeah, I'll do it.
You didn't put it on my outline. You just threw it somewhere else.
We're
sorry.
Yeah.
You didn't trust the children today.
Your outline's not good enough for us. You want to go alien cover first? This is drop it. Here we go, Nico. So Marvel is doing a new Aliens comic or Alien comic, I guess you want to call it. This is the In-Huck Lee. I don't know if this is the regular cover.
It's pretty.
Yeah,
that is nice.
So I don't know if this is regular or a variant. I just grabbed it off of a website. So
when do they merge everything? Are they merging everything? Like, are these guys in Marvel Universe now? Like, do we know anything?
I do not know that. I can read it.
They're
real
just
quick.
owned by Marvel Comics. They have the rights.
I have never seen an alien where they their middle, whatever that's called, isn't just straight. It's more like a tongue.
It's coming in March too.
The extra jaw, extra mouth.
Yeah, I've never seen it where it's not just
straight.
Yeah, interesting.
It's more flexible.
I guess. It's like the franchise.
Yeah.
So yeah, March of 2021, this is going to drop. So Salvador LaRocca is doing the art on it, and written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, who did Empire, Captain America, and Marvel Zombies Resurrection. Okay. Crickets. Okay. Next news of the week. Everybody who loves it coming back. Cobra Kai season 3. First look. So obviously nothing to really look at, but I mean,
good show. Can't go wrong.
Yeah. At least I mean, I think this brings a renewed energy on the Comic-Con circuit for these boys, because I know they do a lot of Comic-Cons. So it'll be interesting how the 8-bit variant rolls out. It'll be interesting what the signatures do, because I mean, you could get a signature for what? I'm guessing probably $40-$50 maybe. Yeah.
Not anymore, I bet.
Yeah, not anymore.
You used to be able to get Zabka for a box of, gummy bears or something.
So we talked about Naomi. This is Echo. This is you, George. I have no idea what this is.
Yeah, so Echo is a character that had been selling for, like just ridiculous. It was like a $40, $50, whatever dollar book for a long time after the kind of like leaks that she was going to be somewhere. Then it was she's going to be in Hawkeye. Now they've got actual film of her appearing. For me, not a super interesting character, but we'll see how it goes. I'm much more interested now that I see who's playing her on the series. Maya Lopez, watch out. I think the big news that none of us talked about was all of the next slide.
Yep. News
surrounding Hawkeye. I'd like to take my victory with Pizza Dog.
Hold on. I got you. It's a major key alert, bro.
It makes me so happy. Oh my god! I can be accused of being a comic book hipster. Like when other people like something, I will no longer like it, which I'm guilty of from time to time. But I will say that we got like 2,000 likes on Instagram for a picture of Jeremy Renner as a 14-year-old child being babysat by some woman with a pizza dog. So lucky pizza dog for life.
He looks as short as you in that picture.
That's a good point. I didn't even
people unite.
Nico, I wonder if our homeboy Trent did a little alterations to Jeremy there.
When I first saw that picture, I think I commented on Instagram. I was totally confused. I thought it was wings. Like what movie is this where he has wings? Like what the hell? So yeah, anyway, I don't know what I was eating some chocolate that McClay sent me in the mail, I guess.
Oh,
the good stuff.
Yeah,
so I'm excited. I think like the bigger takeaway from the excitement surrounding the Hawkeye miniseries, more than like, buy the Matt Fraction run, later printings because they're great books, or variants or Young Avengers or whatever, is that Marvel's clearly focusing on television. We've seen news about Ms. Marvel, now news about Hawkeye. Looks like, Wanda will be on the small screen here in January, shortly thereafter. Cap and Winter Soldier, and that seems to be their focus. So I'm excited, at least if for no other reason, to see if they can produce something as good as The Mandalorian. And if they do, Katie bar the door. I think the amount of cash that's being spent on Star Wars comics, if even a fraction, dollar for dollar, is spent by Marvel fans on these series, we should see a lot of books move for a lot of crazy prices that'll shock us all before it's all said and done.
I think it makes a huge difference that it's live action and not cartoon for a lot of this stuff too. I think that speaks volumes to commitment, in my opinion, and I don't know. I think it's just better.
Well, cartoon is to grow a brand. Like cartoon is a cheap way to grow the brand. You know, when they were trying the younger superheroes, you know, it's easy to throw them in like the Avengers cartoons and those kind of things, just to get some awareness. But you know, these live action shows are a whole nother thing, man. This is meant to be weekly watch TV, which happens so rare. I mean, Mandalorian's one of the few shows that people are like, I have to watch it when it's on.
They can have their cake and eat it too. I mean, if they really wanted to double dip, they could do like a I'm trying to think of the comic term, like a tie-in that's animated that you don't have to see to get the story, but is a nice little extra.
That's like the CW used to do with Arrow in the early series.
So on this, not that I haven't seen these pictures, but I'm just not sure. Were these officially released, or are these just set leaks?
I think those. I think that's a set leak. I think the other one was an official released photo.
Okay.
I'm off on Hawkeye because how the fuck are you going to get a bow through a subway?
Yeah. Well, it's 2005 or 25 there, right? So it could be after
you got to read the Fraction Run, dude. If you read the Fraction Run, you will be as like excited for this as everybody else. I promise.
I will do that tonight or tomorrow.
It's a therapy bow, dude. Come on.
Field therapy bow. I like that. That's a smart joke. That's a smart joke.
You know what, guys, is interesting about it too, I think, is I don't know if you saw the news recently, but I think it was Warner Brothers. I forget who it was, but they were saying that they made a deal with HBO Max where basically whatever theaters are open are going to get their movies, but they're going to be released on HBO Max as well. So it makes sense to me that, you know, these property owners are going, I mean, movies are in trouble, guys. They're in real freaking trouble. Right
Did you guys see the court case? Mm-hmm. So a federal court, and shame on me, of all the people, I should have read the opinion, but there's a federal court case.
What do we keep you around for?
Yeah, it's an epic fail.
Take the Esquire off your name.
Yeah, I remember seeing the news, and then I didn't read the I didn't read the article or the opinion. I'll do both by next week, but there's a federal court case that changed the law, at least in, you know, some federal court, some federal district. It changed the interpretation. I don't think it was an appeals court, but again, forgive me for not reading it, that prohibited studios from owning movie theaters. So I guess the theory is that they, you know, tested, and now they'll take up on appeal that issue. And if they prevail on it, you'll see like high-end Disney movie theaters rolling across the country, high-end, you know, whatever studios rolling, you know, AT&T theaters rolling across the country, and they will not bail out the movie industry. They'll just buy it and consolidate it.
So so they're going to allow that monopoly to happen. And because when I read that article, there were people within the industry that were like, how dare they mess with that window and allow it to be on HBO Max right when, you know, these movies are going to be out in theaters. It's going to upend the whole like system. And there's people saying there's going to be some real casualties within the movie world as far as the theaters themselves. So that makes sense, Nico, that they would just go in and then they can release it on Disney Plus, or they can release it wherever they want. But the thing that was interesting to me too, though, was a lot of these superstars in their contracts, they have it set up so that they get percentages from box office, right? Once you start messing with the traditional model with the box office, you start pissing off big stars. So it's
guarantees that they'll be released upon X number of screens, right?
Yeah.
RDA would be fucking pissed if he were losing an Avengers payday.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. I'm telling you guys.
Matt, that is an impressive little insight.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different factors, and the last thing I'd just kind of add is the makeup of the United States Supreme Court has changed. Monopolies don't get I mean, they're like, I don't think anybody on the podcast is old enough to remember the baby bells. Okay, we don't really like break up monopolies in the United States anymore. So all the talk of like, this is a monopoly is like, that's nice in theory and all, but it just doesn't fucking happen.
It's old school thinking.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen. So I imagine before it's all said and done, there'll be Disney luxury theaters in a town near you.
I think the only places on the market now are going to be those niche ones, like, you know, Alamo Draft House is an example. Like they serve a
art house theaters.
Yeah,
they serve a different purpose. Like they're there to have, you know, revivals, and they're going to give you an experience. It's not it's not you sitting in a theater with 1,000 people, you know, with $2 popcorn.
And
I love this comment. The actors won't want to work for nickel and dimes for string movies, so then don't fucking work.
Well, here's the thing: this is
not up to them.
This equates back to wrestling, kind of. So back in the glory days in the 80s and 90s, you would get off house shows and went pay-per-views. Well, when WWE or F, depending how old you are, went to the network, the WWE network, all the pay-per-views went away because they're on the network. So they had to renegotiate all their contracts based on network deals. And paydays weren't as big for lower-end guys. But I think what's going to happen, just like in wrestling, like your Triple H, John Cena's, Undertaker's, you're still getting $20 million for WrestleMania because they're just the guys. It's the lower-end guys who are going to get fucked on this deal, where they're only going to get hundreds of thousands, maybe $1 million payday, unless they were in the 80s and 90s where people were just getting money hand over fist. But that's my
and we may see different revenue streams for these people too, right? Like if you can't make cash over here, believe me, some agent and you know, some LA law firm is going to figure out how to make money over here because they get residuals too. Yeah, so they're going to generate generate it off of YouTube and social media platforms, and that's what wrestling kind of did. They said, okay, we know you're not going to make money here, but now we kind of own their social media. It's kind of a messed up way in WWF, but basically what happens is they own the social media, but they get money off of YouTube hits and sponsorships and stuff like that. So I mean, I bet you I see Robert Downey Jr. having his own YouTube channel and releasing stuff. Our podcasts are probably going to be bigger and bigger, you know, because getting 50 million movie.
Jumping back to the movies real quick, something cool that my LCS posted about is on the 27th, limited to, I think he told me 20 people just due to spacing and whatever. 20 people, $8 a ticket to see Wonder Woman 1984 at the theater. They rented out a theater to see it. And
that's awesome.
Sign me up.
It's $75 here. That's how terrible the movie industry is in Michigan right now. You can rent a whole movie theater for like $75.
Yeah, I don't know what the cost was, but $8 a ticket per person. And I was like, "Hey, honey, you want to go?" So I was like, "Let's do it."
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. And I mean, it is sad. It's a whole industry. Excuse me. And I think this whole, I don't know, because California, we're more shut down than most places, or we have been on and off with everything. So it's like all these experiences, man. Like the farther you get removed from these things, the less of what you remember. Like, you know, I get together with our friends for every for every major, you know, Marvel or DC release. In LA, we'd be like, all right, like you going? Can you go on the opening night, or we have to wait till the next day? And so we did that a lot. And we had such a good time, and it's just like, you know, it's slowly slipping away. I don't know. I don't know the last movie I saw. It was. I mean, I'm sure it was before March or something like that. But it just, you know, and I was hoping the next one I was going to see was Wonder Woman, so I just went and bought a big TV. So
yeah. Well, and speaking of that, I was just reading Wonder Woman is going to be on HBO Max and in theaters. And so I don't know, man. It's going to be a little crazy.
I wonder if there's anything to stop anybody from renting the theater. I don't know. I don't know the logistics, but if I could rent the theater, go on Facebook Marketplace and sell tickets to see Wonder Woman 1984.
I don't think that's a safe fit, Paul.
I don't know. No, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to go there. I'm just curious. I wonder what.
Now we're
Well, now
flipping
you
movie
have
theaters.
antibodies, Paul. You have antibodies, so you could do it. So you could
Yeah.
do it in the ad. You put, if you have had COVID and you have antibodies, come and check out this movie. And
Right.
people feel safe.
Dennis says you can rent a screen for $100 in Virginia. Man, if I could do that, I would just take my kids to a movie, like the whole
Yeah.
family, and fucking enjoy it. And they'd be like, that would be a memory for life. We rented out that
Yeah.
movie. It was the last movie we saw. We fucking did it right.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way to save the industry. It's just going to take some.
Jumping back to.
I don't know
jumping
if
back-
I want to save the industry as it was.
Well,
I
I
like it. It's a social experience, man. It's a good job for fucking kids to have. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Well,
I like the whole experience, and
I like
the
it
experience
overall,
got better and better. Everything started to become boutiquey. Like everything,
Well, that's what I mean. I wanted to-
you weren't a sardine anymore. All the
Yeah,
new theaters are being
comfortable
renovated. You
seats.
had comfortable chairs, a fucking recliner, a heater in some of them. You know,
I want them
Yeah.
to keep doing that, man.
Craft beer.
Finger.
Craft beer.
Yeah, they finally caught on to Europe and started selling fucking beer in most of the movie theaters.
Love it, man. Love it.
Teenagers on their phone,
Um,
texting next to you.
Jumping back to what Dino said, I wonder if this is an opportunity to change the face of entertainers, where people, the nobodies, like the gentleman who starred for Daredevil and like Netflix series type lower known or less known actors rather have a more of a chance for a chance to shine.
Maybe because they're not gonna want to pay these big actors.
Exactly,
They're gonna
exactly.
pull these big box office unless they're willing to compromise. And is Tom Cruise going to compromise on Top Gun? I'm not sure, but yeah, you're right. There might be some of these more character actor driven guys that will come in and that's silver lining thinking, though. I think I don't know. I tend to be kind of pessimistic in a way.
And you got to think
the
too,
movie industry.
actors have the Screen Actors Guild, you know what I'm saying, which is like their union theoretically. And yeah, you got to pay like $5,000 to get in, which is kind of shitty, but we won't talk about that. But wrestling doesn't have a union, so I mean that's what we're kind of hostage at, I guess. I mean, I think the Screen Actor Guild has to go to movie producers and be like, okay, this is what it's like MLB or NFL. Contract negotiations, like when it comes to union dues and what that all works out to be, because how many movie editing? I guess movie editing is just a physical locations and stuff like that. I mean, is Disney, when they do these boutique Disney theaters, are they just going to put Disney Plus on? Are they going to have real film reels? I mean, it's like, how's it all going to? I mean, do you pay? Yeah, I don't know how that all. What's the distribution going to be? I guess. I mean, and it's going to be. I bet you we all know what's going to happen. It's going to be the first 4 or 5 movie theaters are going to be at Disneyland, right? I mean, it'll make sense, right? I mean, why would? And then are they going to break out 50 in each state, and it's going to be too much? I mean, what's the logistics? I mean, it's probably New York, LA, Chicago.
Yeah, but you run your vintage movies and have an experience like some of these shows are doing now. Like, they have the Rocky Horror Picture Night or the freaking
And could you do
Flying Circus, whatever they want to do,
Could you do like a day, like with like basically, 8 episodes of something like that, where people just get, I don't know what the length would be, where you have a break every couple episodes, re-showing something like, like say a lot of bigger cities had a place where midnight every Saturday people would go watch Rocky Horror Picture Show and sing along with a movie. So something like that, something where the fans can still engage, or you can you can see, I don't know, the Game of Thrones Red Wedding episode in a movie theater, or 2 episodes because it's an hour, right? You know what I mean? Something like that. Something to give you an experience on something that's just not being utilized.
Or you do Avenger Night when Thor was coming out, you could watch all the Thor movies or all the Avenger movie or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Stuff, yeah, definitely stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know. I'd hate for that to be wasted space and be like decay of America. These nice movie theaters that people spend a lot of money in, and I guess, I mean, maybe it's not safe, but like I don't know.
I don't think it's going to die, Sean. I think people are wanting this, and as soon as we have even a modicum of safety, people are going to rush back to the theater. If these theaters can just survive, I think they're going to be okay. But they got to survive, like, I think another year. Honestly, I think it's going to be another year before we get back to any kind of relative normalcy.
And to me, I look at it like, all right, well, you're going to sell every other seat, or maybe seat you can only buy, two. You have to buy 2 seats next to each other, so every other 2 seats or something, like that at limited capacity. And maybe that's enough. And then, to be honest, if people don't feel safe, they don't feel that distance is enough space for them, then don't go to the movie.
Yeah,
like have sort of. I'm not saying open all the movie theaters tomorrow. I'm just saying to do something. I don't know. I just I don't know. I'm not big on closing the indoors of things complete. I understand not full capacity, but eating, you can't eat inside over here. So
we can't either here.
Yeah,
it's going to be a slow change, because even if they said, everyone, surprise, we gave everyone in the world the vaccine while they were sleeping. Just completely hypothetical, of course, but people are it's going to be a slow change where people just don't feel comfortable not doing the things that we're doing right now. Like, it's going to be a slow move of people not wearing masks. And even at that point, every seasonal flu season, people are probably going to, just voluntarily wear masks annie.
They do it in Asia anyway, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go to the streets of Tokyo.
So
they'd already been doing it. I've been thinking about it. If there was no COVID and it was flu season, and I know people at my work are sick, I'm going to wear a mask.
It's gonna be a slow change back to normal if we ever reach what we thought normal was soon, or whatever your definition of soon is.
I feel you on that, Rick.
Well,
the theater with crackheads.
The theater economic game will be interesting. It's like how many. I guess maybe it's revamping the theater design, and I'll take it a step further. Maybe instead of having 16 theaters or movie theaters inside of a big theater, maybe they only do 8, and it's like, it's going to be very interesting. Like think of an indie movie that gets 2 screens. Are those really going to get 2 screens now? Or are they going to get 1 screen? Is like Batman, the new Batman comes out. Is that going to be on 8 screens only, and it's only an 8-screen theater? It's just, I think Disney's smart. We all know it. I mean, Disney's a $1 billion company for a reason. They just didn't luck into it. I think they're going to really flip the game when it comes to theater design. I mean, I could see him even do a double level screen maybe, or something like a 2-story where they're saving space instead of the traditional big style where it's like, all in, you got to take a shopping mall center because you got to put 16 theaters in there. I mean, it'll be
I think Nico needs to interview a movie theater owner.
I got a guy, and he collects comics, and he's got a collection that he, because he bought a comic store but never sold any of the books, that he won't let me dig through. So I'll put my feelers out again. I've honestly been more interested in getting his comics than I have been talking to him about his theater, but I should probably be a decent human person.
It's your end.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, I'm reaching out.
It'd be interesting to get his take on the industry and what he thinks the future is.
He's a super cool guy.
Why not make VIP boxes that are like positive pressure, where it's like, I mean, just think outside the fucking box. I mean, people will do stuff just like you were saying, Dino. Think outside the box and see what the heck happens.
So what was ironic is he is a 1-screen theater. He wouldn't get the shows, I don't think, the week of. I think he got them a week late, but he got all the major films. It was more like, a labor of love than it was kind of like an
money-making thing.
Yeah, to make a ton of cash. But I watched Mr. Rogers there, and just a super, super guy. So, yeah, I'll reach out. Actually, he was talking to me about, like, well, do you guys want to film from my movie theater? And I was like, we're kind of all across the country and stuff, but
that would be dope. And to end on this, I thought when you said balcony, I thought you meant Statler and Wardoff, where people you could just yell at people like the peasants down on the other side of the movie theater. But
I'm trying to figure out why wouldn't anybody feel comfortable going into a theater? I've been on a plane like 5 times in the last 2 months, and I mean, you're sitting in a little tiny compartment with people a foot and a half away from you for hours. I mean, and not one person thinks twice about it. I don't understand.
Yeah,
Well,
they don't have
I
empty rows
think
either.
a lot of people think twice about it. You're just not there.
You're just not one of those people.
Well, I mean,
fear is
but
a
I mean,
powerful thing.
I mean, there's a lot of people on there. I mean, why wouldn't there be a lot of people in a theater?
I think the setting changes perspective.
Yeah. Also, much like comics don't make rational, logical sense. Yeah, much like comics don't make rational logic sense, neither do people. So I kind of give up on that shit.
Well, and a lot of it depends on self-experience. My mom, dad, sister, and nephew had COVID. My sister was 39, and we thought she was going to be hospitalized. Even if I don't actively think in my mind I'm putting myself at risk, even if it's not a risk, on a subconscious level, I'm thinking, do I need to take that flight? My wife was going to fly to New York. She's not doing it because she doesn't want to chance the risk. So, it's almost like however you feel, whatever risk you feel you're at with this pandemic, it is still going to have a subconscious take on your mind, depending on where you're at in the country, what your personal experience is. And for a lot of people, me personally, having family members that have struggled with it and almost were hospitalized, I'm making great strides to not take extra risks.
Oh no, and I get
I ain't doing nothing.
No, I mean I get all that, but I'm saying that like nobody's taking I mean they're making these rash decisions about these theaters, and they're not even. I mean, why wouldn't they just try? I mean, why would they just immediately just throw Wonder Woman on HBO Max? It doesn't. I mean, if you put it there, yes, there's going to be
more money.
They're not going to make any. They're going to lose it. They're going to lose their butts.
Do you think it's because HBO Max might be
than they are
struggling
in the theater?
Is HBO Max struggling at all? I have no idea what the sales are.
They're going to
they come free with my
$15.99 versus splitting it with the theater and the distribution company and everybody else.
But they're not. I mean, they already own HBO, so they're not selling any new.
They're going to get new subscriptions because of that.
I doubt. Yeah. HBO's already got millions of subscriptions.
HBO Max does not.
But between that and the Snyder Cut, you know what I mean? Like, I think they're just trying to oh shit. Well, we have DC, and what's the new show? Stargirl.
Yeah, that was good.
Right?
Shit.
Is it good?
Oh, Stargirl's fantastic.
Okay, I'm gonna start that soon. There's finally some shows that I want to watch. So
no, Stargirl, my kids loved it.
You guys want to move on to the big news for our buddy Define 999 and John Z?
Yeah, I mean, I brought Matt on to talk foreign comics and CGC, and
we've been harassing him about contentious COVID.
I don't even think we have the same opinion of what's going on.
Well,
let's start with showing some images. Did you pull those in, Brian?
Hey, I gotta go grab a glass of whiskey.
I didn't pull them in.
No,
can I do that real quick?
Time for a whiskey. Oh, you didn't pull any of those in?
I should have went earlier. Don't you guys that on this show? You leave, you turn your
I'll throw them up. I'm sorry.
I'll throw one up.
I'll override. Start a show with us.
I'll override your wife and give you permission.
I'll give the once over and the topic while Matt gets a drink.
Let me go get my glass of whiskey before this, and I'll be right back.
He's got some anxiety. Okay, so foreign comic collecting has been very hesitant at CGC. They lived on the boards for a while and got kind of bullied out of them. And also, CGC didn't really know what to do with foreign comics. This to me is the perfect example. The first time I tried to find this book on the census, I found it 3 different places with different listings. One had it under Yomo Ragno. One had it under Yomo Ragno with the apostrophe after the L. It was under Amazing Spider-Man 300 Italian edition, and then it was under that a couple different publishers because it says Marvel Italian, but it also says Star Comics. So it was spread across the census. So even if you wanted to know how many copies there were, you had to know enough to look 3 to 4 different places on a good day. and this was not an uncommon issue. So like, there's no cohesiveness in it. If you don't know what you're looking for, you are effed. If you do know what you're looking for, it's still very, very difficult. So for the last probably 5 years, they've been sticking pretty heavily with CBCS because one of their own was within the grading company kind of as an employee. So they were helping and doing the research and doing the labeling and all that. And whether we like it or not, CBCS has its own issues with resale. It's not the top dog. It's the other brother. And it was not getting the attention because people aren't watching CBCS.
You want to go to another one here? I'm just gonna.
So last week, yesterday, I think, one of the guys in the community posted these images of the Italian 300, the Greek 129, and we were all kind of in shock because CGC, without telling anybody, changed their label formatting. They were labeling them all as the American edition of the cover with notes underneath of the foreign language name, where it came from. And all of a sudden the foreign community is like, whoa, what's going on? Because some concerns that Matt's going to talk about more are just because it has a cover doesn't mean it has a gut. So it might be a 300 cover, but a story to Spider-Man 428. They don't always tie together. There's a lot of confusion on that, and then there's a confusion of that's not the book. It's really this book, not Spider-Man 300 and da da da. And Matt Nelson actually reached out to the poster of these and said, "We have made a conscious decision to label the books based on cover, so that collectors can understand where the information is going to live." Because their whole goal is to align the census on these books. So if you're looking to find information on Amazing Spider-Man 129, eventually you're going to see Amazing Spider-Man 129, and then you're going to see Greek edition, Spanish edition, all these things all in one place. So to me, that is outstanding because there's a bunch of collectors that don't know these exist. And if they're looking at the census for Amazing Spider-Man 300, they're all of a sudden going to go, what are all these? What are these things that there's 3 of?
Yeah.
So, Matt, you can give your opinion of the whole matter.
These guys like $20 to stick a label on a book, man. Like you guys are the ones that do all the research. They don't have any fucking idea. The girls filling out CGC forms at a con, I'm gonna be honest, they don't know what variants,
Right.
Might as well be me pressing an IDW Virgin. I don't know what the fuck the thing is.
No, but
I mean, like, they need to somehow employ you guys.
No. This is the thing, though, Sean. This gentleman sent in the labels exactly how he thought they should be
with the correct notation,
and they changed them. They put them as Amazing Spider-Man 300.
Okay,
and this has been kind of huge for the foreign community because it's been in a weird way kind of earth-shattering. There's also a lot of baggage there. I mean, John, I'm sure you've talked with the guys. For the longest time, CBCS has been the preferred slabber of foreigns. And one of the big reasons for that was some of their policies, the fact that they had Tim Bildhauser, a foreign expert, on hand. Their notations were accurate. They were correct. CBCS was just the place you sent foreigns to. CGC has a horrible track record of messing up foreigns, but that's in the past. But, it's what makes this also, you can't talk about this without talking about some of the baggage that the foreign community has with CGC. I know that if any of you guys,
but do you have it with the boards or CGC, the company?
What's up?
You have issues with the boards, not the company.
The board, well, the company too. We were trying to get registry sets done, and they told us to fuck off. And it just there was some things there where CGC was just not very.
You said a keyword to me though. Registry sets is interesting because that's where this is going to get crazy.
Yeah, and then that Yes.
hardcore money spenders love that shit.
Love the registry sets. And honestly, I think this is a good thing. When Matt Nelson joined our group, we were like, oh, whoa, Matt Nelson joined the group. And I find it kind of ironic that this sort of happened kind of around that time. But I even though the labels are wrong, and I'll get into that in a second, but even though the labels are wrong, I do feel like this is CGC's way of kind of throwing the foreign community a bone. I feel like it's their way of, like you said, John, trying to help people that are researching foreign editions of Amazing Spider-Man 300. Your average collector is not going to know this is Lomo Ragno 91. They're not going to know that. And even, and the honest truth is, even in our group, when we show a Lomo Ragno 91, we will often say this is the Italian 300.
So now you say they are wrong?
They are
because
wrong.
it should be Lomo Ragno, right?
It should be.
But you and I somewhat fed this beast by calling it the Amazing Spider-Man 300 set.
We did.
I don't think it's wrong. I just think it's a different way of thinking about it.
Yes. And honestly, I would feel a little better with it, I think, if CGC just took what they did and flipped it this way, right? Give it the Lomo Ragno title, right, at the top. That doesn't need to be, because it's a question of hierarchy, right? On your label, you have this hierarchy of Amazing Spider-Man 300 at the top. I would feel a little more comfortable with it if they flipped it, and they had the Lomo Ragno on top, and then on the bottom, had Amazing Spider-Man 300 or Italian edition of Amazing Spider-Man 300. The nomenclature can be debated, but the key issue that and then that's the other thing. There's more hardcore academics within the foreign collecting community that are more about like the academic side and not so much about kind of the sizzle of building sets and whatnot. And for them, they see this label as almost a tragedy.
Well,
I'm not there. I'm kind of with you, John.
CGC doesn't care about the academics.
I know they don't.
They want to bring this to the common collector.
Yeah.
And again, the whole point is to get it in one place in the registry or in the census.
CGC's job is to get a collector to send in a collectible for them to make a profit.
Yes.
Yeah, they're gonna want to please the collectors.
And
real quick,
as much as this irks you, you love the hobby and you want to see it grow.
Yes.
This is going to make it grow, but probably the fear you have is that it's going to grow in a different way than you wanted it to grow.
Matt, I got to cut you off real quick.
What's up? Go for it.
They don't want to please the collector. Number two. Number one, they want you to send in collectibles to Slab for them to make a profit. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two could be the nomenclature. But I was going to say real quick, there's a lot of space on that slab for a lot of text because we've all seen the slabs with 400 signatures on it where they filled that whole thing up with a lot of text. So however they work it out or in the coming days and months and years, there's space for them to say cover X, guts X.
Matt, were you hopped out of some conversations the other day because you had a rough week?
I had a really rough week.
Some of our brethren have continued to ask some questions.
Yes, Josh.
And CGC has said they're adapting and learning. So some of these things will change.
Yeah, I don't think this is the final version of the label.
I think this is fantastic, though, to make the general population understand what's going on.
Yeah, and there's another huge part of it. But real quick, can we go to the Greek 129 image?
Yeah, I can do that. Give me 1 second.
The problem is with the equivalency, right? The real issue. They don't know that yet. They don't know that yet. But I'm going to explain why you can't throw the equivalency on the foreign market because it's more complex than simple equivalencies. The problem with foreign editions, and the problem like with this is the Greek Cabanas Hellas 18, and it doesn't contain the 129 guts at all, right? So by calling it the Amazing Spider-Man 129, it's just the cover only. if a collector were to try to buy this off eBay, they might assume that it contains the guts. The foreign publishers did all kinds of crazy shit. They have mismatched covers, so you might have a 129 cover with a different interior's guts, which might be key, but if CGC is not putting that there, they might not know. We also have instances of double keys. So you have instances where you have, say, first Hobgoblin, and then in the back is an Iron Man 55, but it doesn't use the cover. Well, what book is that? Should that be underneath Iron Man 55, within the equivalency, or should it be somewhere else? So it's the equivalency that's sort of the problem.
They basically said they're judging it off cover because that's a standard they can choose.
Yeah, and
that's what I've gathered from the notes. And listen, we're putting these damn things in a piece of plastic that we're not going to open them. So it's the cover that matters.
Matt or John, when you guys are like building your sets of whatever, let's say it's this, let's say it's First Punisher. When you're like buying them all, are you saying I want all that has that cover, or are you saying I want all that has that cover plus the one that may have a guts somewhere else?
Depends.
So like
each collector's different.
So like if you put them up on your wall, would you, like, you guys personally, would you stick the one that's got a totally different cover that looks completely out of place? Would you put that in the same collection with everybody else?
Some people do, some people don't. It depends how cool that cover is. It could be a redrawn cover, it could be not. But for the most part, the set builders, again, we're getting into this kind of the different philosophy of the different people in the group. Some of them are more academic. Some of them care more about the guts than necessarily the covers. But amongst the more mainstream collectors there, I would say that the covers matter more. Like, for instance, if you're building a 129 set, you got to have this Cabanas Hellas book in your set. Even if it doesn't have the guts, you got to have it. I still put a lot of emphasis on it because it has the cover. Some other collectors, some other very old school collectors within the foreign collecting community have kind of grown away from that and have become more academic in their viewpoint and less collector focused.
But they're not slabbing books to see.
That's what I was going to say. Are they the ones that aren't slabbing them?
Some of them no, some of them maybe a little. I don't know.
CGC is going for that market that frustrates you, Matt. That wants the nicest copy to put on their wall.
No, well, here you go. Ready?
Well, I'm not frustrated. I actually like it. Don't get me wrong, guys. I feel like this is great. And honestly, you guys didn't let me get to the one point that actually is the earth-shattering part. The earth-shattering part is that they did not put reprints Spider-Man 129 on the damn label.
Which is nice.
CBCS for the longest time was creating labels. I'll give you an example. If you take a CBCS label and it has first full appearance and origin of Venom Eddie Brock, right? They've been doing that for a long time. CGC had it.
That's a beautiful book.
They've been doing things like reprints Spider-Man 129 in Greek, or the reprint stigma was still there. What I do like about these labels is that Matt Nelson or CGC or whoever was making this decision was able to look at the forums and go, whatever we're doing, let us not put reprint on there. The simple act of translation makes these books not reprints anymore. They are their own freaking animal. And to me, that's the really huge part of this, is that it seems like they're moving in that direction and moving away from the reprint stigma. Does that make sense?
Which is huge.
The word is that good or bad?
Shattering.
Is that good or bad?
I think
it's good. It's really good.
They used to be dismissed like Marvel Tales.
Can I play devil's advocate from a guy who's I will say I'm on the very fringe of the foreign market. I'm not.
I wanted to do this on this show so I could get your guys' opinion. So Matt and I are going to shut up and let you guys talk.
Yeah.
So here's my foreign outtake. I think, and I want to congratulate you too, because you guys have been the front runners on this from the beginning. But I think you've opened Pandora's box from a guy who doesn't have any emotional attachments to comics to a guy with money and numbers, and saying it's going to be very easy now to go and be like, oh, I know what that book is because it's an ASM 300. You know, I don't think you're going to find the deals anymore. I hate to say it. You know, people are going to not knowing what they have anymore is going to be far less, I guess. And maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're right. It's already happening, Dino. It's already happening, Dino.
So, I mean, this is just another iteration of it going down the rabbit hole of, it's like putting a list of keys together, like, you know, like we did back in the day, or doing this or doing that. Of you're opening up Pandora's box and you can't close it. Now, you know, when you could go find, like, oh, I know this guy had a bunch of foreigns. I know they'll be there in 2 weeks. They might not be there anymore. You know, once you leave that book on.
No. I think that I think CGC joining the foreign group, hopefully they reach out to some of those higher ups or those people with a large base knowledge to help them and compensate them appropriately. I had a question about that Greek foreign book. Pull that, if anyone can put that back up.
129.
Maybe because I don't see the whole cover. I can't wrap my head around it. But why? So why does that say? So that's the cover art of ASM 129, but that right there it says number 18, APX 15.
Yes.
So
is
that
number 18 within the Cabanas Hellas run.
Okay. So I
we
guess
have a picture of the whole book.
Oh,
They don't print every issue, Paul. They just print pieces. Like the Philippine ASM 300 is their Amazing Spider-Man 1.
All right.
Yep.
So I guess maybe my question for maybe you guys, Z and Matt, would have different answers. What would you, for this book, what would you want the label to say? And is it just 100% based on cover versus guts? Is that the argument?
The argument is the nomenclature. It is, if you were to go to an academic, they would tell you that it is Enatep Man, which is Spider-Man in Greek, number 18, and it has within it, I remember the issue, it's got a different set of guts.
Yeah.
So there would be notes that say contains the cover of Spider-Man 129.
That's what I was going to say. Yep.
Can you put it on the right hand side? Like, would you put it over here then? Like, say, like, you know, as his first appearance of whatever, you know what I'm saying? Would you just say over here, like cover only, no interior of it? I mean, something of that nature.
You would need that information to be accurate.
Ultimately, great, but if you're CGC, you're not going to do that research, and you don't care.
That's why I was saying they should.
Well,
in theory, because we care more than them, and we care more than them. I think they should reach. If the world were perfect, they'd reach out to what they could consider the highest level of the professional foreign comic community and say, we want to do right by you, and this is what we're going to do. Which is not going to happen, but you know what I mean.
In some messages, they said if we're provided the correct information and it's pertinent, we would look to add it to the database.
But they didn't, because they changed the label on the gentleman who sent in. They changed what he sent in.
I think they're trying to make steps towards right, and this is a mass transition. I mean, nobody sent in this information. There's not a methodology to do that.
Yeah, please let me back that a little bit. I think I agree with you guys. It's amazing that CGC is changing their labels and going for foreigns. We're just nitpicking them because we're the nitpickers, and we know we think we know maybe more than we do, or we do know more than whatever. But even Sean's comment on YouTube here of there's so few foreign books slabbed. I think that number is increasing every day. Who doesn't want their art preserved and their books slabbed? I think it's increasing. I just basically what I want to say is good for CGC.
Wouldn't you say though, like on that last one, on that ASM 129, just for the fact that it doesn't say first, like the Spider-Man 300 one says first appearance of Venom, the fact that it doesn't have the normal writing over on the right hand side that says first appearance of Punisher, where it's just blank. The fact that it's empty basically is telling everybody, hey, this is not the first appearance. It's a little bit different. It doesn't necessarily say that it doesn't have the guts, but the fact that they didn't put anything there is saying we acknowledge that the inside of this is not the same as ASM 129.
I don't care that 299 or 300 are in this book, because this cover is amazing and I want it, and I want the nicest copy of it I can find because it's a motherfucker.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later.
Well, and hey, as me and Dino are like way down here on the foreign list. If I was trying to complete a whole set of these and I wanted them all graded, I would want the top line right underneath CGC Universal Grade. I want that to match. I want it to all look the same, and so I don't
registry set to be built.
The OCD. I mean, we do the same thing too. It
Right.
like Matt said, it's ASM 300 underneath with Lomo Ragno on the very top, and that's the answer. I mean, it's logo Rambo.
It doesn't care about the academics. It wants the people buying and spending a shit ton of money to want it.
Yeah.
And that's the push and pull. And that's the push and pull that's been going on in our group and in our foreign world for a long time. There's like this push and pull between academics and people that just want cool covers, right? And it's a toughie, man. It's a real toughie because me as someone who's been collecting foreigns for as long as I have, to see the title Amazing Spider-Man 300 on the top, to me, the second I see that, I go, that is wrong. This is not that. Because
we should stop doing our shows the way we do.
Oh boy.
No.
We did
true.
it. We
John,
paused it, Matt. That was our fault.
John, that's not true. We say this is the Amazing Spider-Man 300 set. But then when we go to the individual books,
that's their terminology, a set.
But when we go to the individual books, I call it a Lomo Ragno 91. I don't call it. But think of
the top title as the set.
You're right. And so there's a hierarchy issue there that needs to be worked out.
Yeah,
but
the whole point is you can't find shit right now. Nobody knows what Lomo Ragno is.
Yeah, your average collectors, you tell them Lomo Ragno 91, they're going to go, what the fuck is that?
Right.
Your hardcore guys are going to go, oh, yeah, it's the Italian.
But you
300.
say Italian 300, at least 10% are going to go, oh, yeah, that's that black cover.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean,
that's not CGC's original label. There's growing pains. Everyone learns. Hopefully, as they grow, they reach out to proper sources to better their label, and we go from there. And whoever has that book sends it in and gets the upgraded label, or they keep it, and it's one of those old school, old label collector things.
Are you
a
ready?
whole other argument.
Are you guys ready?
Can I just say, I wish you were nearby. I want to hug you. You were like fucking on point tonight.
Are you ready? Are you ready to mind fuck everybody in this channel right now?
COVID made him smarter.
What if? What if? That's ridiculous.
Made him smarter. Shit.
So, what if?
Myself for that.
What if CGC does a different label color for foreigns?
You told me I was
okay with that earlier. I would be totally okay with that.
The color of the flag. They put the country's flag.
That would deter American collectors. We want fucking all blue label.
Blue is for America.
That's the American centric
Blue is for America. I would say.
John knew we were going to disagree on this a little bit.
That color don't run.
Different.
I'd say
I know that they had some. Okay, so within some of that correspondence, Matt Nelson's. I hesitate to say it, but apparently they got their hands on a foreign database.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I could go buy a foreign dictionary and have a foreign database. Like,
well,
what does that
someone, mean? No. This is why this is important. Somebody that knows foreign books created a database and either gave it to them or sold it to them. I don't know where they got it, and it would be. And this is what I from some of the correspondence that I looked at, and that's interesting because there's not very many people within the foreign world that are building these databases that have all of the information in there, and
Matt,
again,
my database. I say, Matt, I need this book.
Yeah, but that's in my fucking noodle, dude.
Wait a second. All I did was watch Global Comic Safari, Matt, and look how I got La Casa #5, baby.
All right. Hey, come join the dark side, Dino. That's what I'm talking about. But the importance of accurate labeling is important. For instance, is Greek Crow 1, on the back.
That's the book that sent me down the fucking rabbit hole.
Okay, so this Greek Crow 1 on the back, okay, in the notes. So CBCS had a foreign expert on there. They did the work to go in and find out what was in the fucking book. And what it says is Prince Caliber Presents 1, Crow 1, and Caliber Christmas 1 in Greek. So for someone that would be purchasing a Crow 1 Greek, they need to know that this is actually his first appearance in Greek because it has Caliber Presents inside. Accurate notation matters. It
I
does
agree.
matter now.
I totally agree.
It does not. We don't even as
I think
Americans.
it matters.
Like,
I think it matters.
More
Tell
than fucking Crow 1.
Okay,
It tells you what's in the book that you're never going to open.
okay, wait a second.
That's
We don't even want the Caliber Presents one.
Oh, he's throwing water bottles. B. Let's go to data
John.
validation. Let's go back to data validation. So I'm a big nerd. So data validation, right? So when you come to a registry, are they combining logo Ragno 15s now or whatever? And 91s?
They haven't yet. I think it's a work in progress. But
how long is that going to be? And then you got to take it. Now I got to track two different sales because one's going to be ASM 300, maybe Lomo Ragno variant, or
that's
is
a
it
GPA problem?
No, I know that's the other thing. Now, how does that affect GPA? And I mean, it's going to be when they start doing.
Yeah, but in 5 years, they're all going to be ASM 300s, other than the 12 that are graded right now.
But are you going to be sub yours?
Well, and think about it. People are going to start listing these as ASM 300 variant.
They are listed as ASM 300 Italian right now.
Yeah, but they might just say Italian edition or something, but they're going to actually start just using variant.
I hope not. I hope not.
Because that's what,
it's too
well,
bad.
Smart sellers already do.
I mean, because they do the same thing with a lot of other type of books that are kind of like that or whatever, that are not necessarily variants, but obviously when people are doing eBay searches, it's easier to find the books you're looking for if you can type in variant. It just makes it easier.
Variant, but
variant
sellers use it already.
sorry, Matt.
Get me over the head with it, man. They're not variant, fucking edition.
I get it. I'm just saying for search.
If I'm using it as a seller, I'm going to call it variant.
Yeah, I understand. And honestly, CGC is going to change it, and it's going to change no matter what we want. But I'm gonna make this mention here right now, John. I don't even know if you know this, but we are going to be interviewing Matt Nelson in January or February, and we will be having these conversations with him. He has agreed to come on.
That's awesome.
And he has no wiggle room. No, I'm just
I would jump back to Dino's comment real quick about the label. I want to say you get the blue label at your base. You pay a little extra for I think a cool, like a flat, the country's flag somewhere on the label that doesn't cover up something that, like, I know Stein can help me out here. The like Spider-Man label that what did it cover up, Ben? Like
Matt Nelson, tune in.
It basically
Italian flag.
anything
right
on the
there.
right, they put it on the back now.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea, John. You don't like that idea?
Oh, I would have fucking hugged you. I love you today.
But wait, originally that, like, the Spider-Man labels, etc. They put it on the front on the right side when you're looking at it, and it covered something valuable. And you're like, why am I paying extra for this?
No, you put the whole Italian flag waving in all its glory across the whole label.
No, a hologram.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Smartest man alive today.
Well, I've been saying for the longest time that there is a larger comic market in the world. And CGC created satellite sites in Western Europe, in the UK. They could make a shit ton of money of Italian collectors getting their Italian books graded and getting a specific Italian flag. Australia is another one. Germany is another one.
If that's true, then why are all the books that come out of there fucking 4.5s?
Yeah, it would take.
You can find higher grade stuff. You just got to know where to look for it.
I think that would take.
I press a lot of these foreign books for these guys, man.
Yeah, the ripple effect of trying to teach people how to care for their books the way Americans do would be long term.
Well, ripple effect, man. I thought we were talking about ripple effect.
Well, there's already a great
here we go. Here's
GS.
Yeah,
here's
so look,
hold on a second.
Basically,
this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so it takes off all the.
It's insane.
Stuff.
It's fucking insane.
Then you flip it on, and now it says over here is where it says the
Oh,
story
it's
art,
on
the
the
cover
back.
art.
So-
and
so you
if there's
spent-
anything else, it'll have it like right here in the middle.
So you spent $25 for a Iron Man cool picture, half of it.
I'm gonna put a
half
sticker
of it
over his
was
asshole.
Yeah,
about the
so
hologram.
add the flag, but don't take away from the label. That's what I'm saying.
I love
you
it,
put-
Paul. I think that's amazing.
So you put the flag on the
Yeah,
back of it?
Damn,
I like
Paul
it.
post
No, not on the back. No, the flag. Nothing goes on the back. Everything goes on the front if it can fit. If it's not, 600
Fucking
text
Paul's label's gonna be this big with no fucking notation. It's gonna be awesome.
airbrush. No, like
Jose Doolin,
pull a
I'm
little
sending
flag
you
on there, man.
a Shang-Chi
Virgin variant. Just
Put it
shoot
on the
me
back,
a
too. I
message
don't-
at Comics Are the Norm. That's
Put
the
it on the-
comment of the night, man.
Put it on the back too. I don't care, but I think that'd be really cool if you put
Yeah.
the little on the front.
It
I
could,
fucking love it, Paul. I love it.
and that would make foreign slabs interesting and something different, and it would look different from all. I mean, honestly,
Yeah, all
what drives
600
foreign
they sell all
collectors
year.
to
What are you
foreign
talking
books, what draws foreign collectors to foreign books is we're all fucking bored of the American books. Let's be honest. I'm going to be bluntly honest. I'm fucking bored with the American books. I've seen them all.
How many guys? How many? All you guys put together? How many foreign books do you send?
It's
them a year?
growing like
500?
it's growing like
I send
gangbusters,
none in
Sean.
right
You'd be
now
amazed.
because I don't care where they go.
I have
But
an
I would.
AF-15. I have an AF-15 Greek and a
So-
GSX-1. I'm not gonna send it.
500 at full price, paid $20. That's $10,000 a year. I don't really think they're going to change what they do.
I think they're trying to get the foreign collectors, not us, not
That-
the Americans. They're trying to get the people in fucking these countries, Brazil,
Yep.
Mexico.
Those dude, their mail service doesn't even work. Why would they be trying to do that?
Sean, that's
John,
the
there was a
difference.
guy named Sky Ott out of Brazil who was sending CBCS hundreds of rare Brazilian Golden Age and spending a fortune.
There are collectors
There
in
are
these other
big
countries. You don't know
collectors
it.
in
There
other
are.
countries.
See, but that's the difference. A business who's in it for the money, and the guys who are in it because they love it.
Well,
That-
Matt
What-
Nelson,
where
difference.
do the sellers fall in?
You're expecting a lot from a coin company. Is all.
Exactly. You're expecting
That-
a lot
that's
from the
what that-
company who's
but are we?
I
company
agree
who's-
with everything you say. I wish they would fucking employ you guys, and obviously you're already doing it for free. So,
Right.
so like, you know what I mean? I think that your input is the best input that any of us can possibly have, but getting them to listen, I think, is near impossible. That's just
Well, I'm gonna try
that's always
January,
been my
Matt.
that's always been my opinion with them. So
To me, this is a 9 out of 10 for me as a collector. This is a 9 out of 10.
I agree with John. You know
Yeah,
what, John?
that high.
We might disagree on some stuff, but I agree with you. I feel like this is a bone being thrown to foreign collectors. I just want to move forward in a positive way,
Yeah.
and I mean,
I wouldn't say a
There-
9 out of 10. I'd say a good darn start, though.
yeah.
No, for me, it's a 9. Fuck it. I don't care about what's inside the guts of that damn thing. I don't. That's a beautiful fucking cover, and it looks like a 300 to me.
yeah.
I'm a dumb fucking American sometimes, and that to me is a dumb fucking American answer. I'm done.
I'll
Yeah,
mail
and
you.
that-
I'll mail you a tissue I sneezed on. Smarten you up.
And there's American.
Fucking Paul is on
No,
fire
no,
tonight.
Christopher,
Yeah.
you're wrong. Pence copies are getting really hot, especially amongst UK collectors, especially
Pence
amongst
is like
American
triple,
collectors that
quadruple.
realize that the UK Pences are actually variants. They were printed at the same fucking time. They were not printed years later or a year later or 3 months later. They were printed on the same press. The UK Pences are actually, in that sense, true variants. You could
The UK
call it-
Pences are becoming the newsstands.
I had a Daredevil
yeah.
168. Pence
There's
there.
no
I don't
chance
know.
A Pence Iron Man 55 is ever going to sell for more than an American Iron Man 55.
I disagree.
I
think
What
that's
Canadian
my-
price variant?
Sean,
you're
I
doing,
have
Sean?
shown examples on this show.
I
Of Iron Man
disagree.
55?
It's
Not of that book,
happening.
but of several keys where the Pence is selling higher in grade than the American.
I think
Yeah,
that
people don't have any fucking respect for this country anymore.
See, that's it. That's
There
it
we
right
go.
there. It's the
I'm
American
just saying,
kind
I-
of
we
We
can't
kicked
be
their
buying
ass
them.
in the fucking war, separated from those taxing bastards hundreds of years ago.
Oh,
Why
here
the
we
fuck
go.
would we pay more money for
Oh,
their shitty-ass
shit.
book?
I'm just saying people are
Demonetized.
recognizing they're rarer and they're buying them.
They're way rare. The Pence copies are way rare, especially in grade. Especially in grade. Those fucking books were used as ballast in ships that shipped across the fucking Atlantic. They are special.
It's the same people doing newsstands and
I need to
Canadian
go get
vice.
some more
or
whiskey. I'll be right back.
Canadian price variants
More whiskey.
are now falling into pence copies because they're the older version of that.
So wait, I have to. Unfortunately, I have to take away all my brownie points. Tell me what a pence variant is.
UK.
UK and the Silver Age.
Being printed when? Silver
We have
Age?
pence, they have pence. No, dude, it's just yeah.
They were called.
I think they still rolled maybe through the bronze a bit, but yes, mostly Silver Age.
It just has a P, like right, like it say like 100p.
So like instead
not-
of cents, it would
the
say
price.
pence.
Okay, so not
There's
but
a
not,
P, not a
but-
pence. Yes.
It's
So
a
not-
foreign currency, Paul, that they use.
but not printed now. You're talking about Bronze Age era, right?
Yeah, silver bronze.
Yeah, they're
Silver.
Got it. All right.
You've seen them.
Yeah, you probably
All
just
right,
didn't
so
know.
we can move off this because I've got fired up enough, and I'm going to be the angry old fucking man. And
Go.
you
Why
guys are
don't,
gonna yell at me.
Z, why don't
Negative,
you,
John.
Z, why don't you and Mr. Define both take a break and go get more whiskey, and we'll see what other topic is next on the list.
Wait,
Well,
I'm
we
almost
need-
out of wine
we
after
need-
this. I've spent a lot of time drinking.
Hey, before we move on from the foreign stuff,
Yeah.
Oh, you were listening?
Yes, Dad.
yeah, can I ask one quick question?
Oh boy.
Oh, he's closing the door.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Why doesn't the United States use the metric system?
Nah, you gotta go, bro. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, because we fucking don't have to, Brian. 'Cause we
Measure-
fucking don't have
Yeah,
to.
Measure your way to
Good
the door.
answer. Good answer.
We
Thank you,
don't
Nico.
fucking
Yeah.
have to. There you go.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, motherfucker.
What did I miss?
No, they're just silly jokes.
Ball
We're wait-
breaking.
Yeah,
Nice.
all good.
It was for you, Matt. It was for you.
Hey, you know what? I just appreciate that you guys are letting me hang out and you know I'm a fucking crazy forward head. I'm crazy, and you know my opinions are going to be a little different than the mainstream.
No, man, I think we have some great banner. I appreciate you coming on, Matt. I appreciate the 111 people who are watching live right now. Like, that's just welcome and thank you for joining in our little,
Yeah. And if
bar
you're not
conversation,
excited about this kind of stuff, there's no hope for you. It's
I think
something super cool for the hobby.
Yeah,
and a hobby that can sometimes feel stale, as I think Matt observed.
If there's an American cover
Yeah.
you love, like that Spider-Man Santa Claus cover, if there's a cover you love that's an American cover and you want to just start to dabble in the foreign, why don't you look up just the one cover you love that is an American cover and just see if maybe there's a foreign cover for that. Maybe your family's from Germany, so you only want to see if there's a German cover for that. Who knows what's out there? It's not, comics aren't only printed in America.
And hit us up on the group, FCC.
Call Matt directly.
Everyone's
I'll give
great.
you his phone number.
Yeah. What,
No,
let's
wait,
get a
no,
rolling
don't do
banner.
that.
Let's get a banner going.
I spend a lot of time just helping American collectors find foreign editions of the
I
books
guarantee
they
you,
love.
if Matt picks up the phone, he'll talk to you for 90 minutes.
Oh shit, John, you're not supposed to tell him that, bro. But so
You
I
just
know
got to
we
take
don't want to
notes.
talk about this all day long, but I just want to say from a kind of macro top heavy thing, I appreciate Matt Nelson. I appreciate him
Sure,
coming into our group.
100%.
I appreciate CGC looking to throw us in the foreign community a bone. There are elements about CBCS that I'm not real happy about. I'm not going to bring that up. But we need CGC to recognize how fucking awesome our hobby is. This part of the hobby. And if they're doing that, I don't care. I might not agree with how the labels are necessarily labeled right now, but I'm more than willing to be a part of the conversation and help CGC find a way that's going to, appease and make as many people happy. There's always going to be people that aren't happy. Totally. I get that.
Yep.
But, all I want as a foreign collector is an accurate label. And if they want to throw a book into the hierarchy of the notation system, so that it's easier for American collectors to find? I mean, that's the reality. CGC is an American company. They can't be an all-encompassing international company, at least not right now. They are an American company, and so it makes sense that they're going to look at this from an American-centric perspective. I get that. So, if we can just work with them and get the labeling to where it needs to be, where I think it is a little more accurate, I'm cool with that. Totally cool.
Have you tried though, or has any of the people that you guys know tried literally to reach out?
The impression I get is that's where they want to go.
Because clearly you have. I mean, you guys all have your own lists and and databases things.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm sure. Obviously, you guys are this is something you're severely keeping track of because you need to.
Yes.
If I'm looking up a regular comic, I can go to mycomicshop.com or even Mile High, or if somebody that has a good, decent, any of the apps that are out there, that you can keep decent inventory and stuff. It's really easy for me. I don't have to remember it. I can look it up at any given time. So obviously you guys have your notes. If there's something you publish, shit, maybe you can get paid for it.
Yeah, some of us have.
I don't know if they're going to pay you a lot. They're looking for help, and you're looking to expand their business. So I honestly think it would be really great because there's nobody that knows better than you guys and the people you
I'm
know.
gonna start asking Matt questions and then sell it to CGC.
There you go.
Well, John hits me up, but see, that's the weird thing about the foreign niche that we're dealing with here, guys. Is there's regional experts, there's country experts. We have friends all over the world that are experts in their specific country's output. So, kind of through us, you could access that, but there is no overarching thing. It's like Nico, Modern Playbook, Robert Fordham. You had him on the other day. What did he say about comic book collecting? And he used a metaphor we like to use. Traditional comic book collecting, sort of like high school or college. Whereas when you start getting into the deeper depths of the foreign stuff, you're getting into PhD level shit. Because it's just so much out there you almost can't fit it all into your brain. There's so much more out there that you have to learn. So, you can't expect CGC, even amongst their variant experts and whatnot, to be able to access that. And there is no Overstreet. There is no guide. It's all in the old school guys' noodles. So we got to figure out a way to celebrate what CGC is trying to do. And that's the thing. I don't want to be the guy that's coming on here and being negative or anything. I think it's pretty amazing. Like I said, the simple fact that they were showing slab labels that did not say reprints Spider-Man 300 or reprints Hulk 1 or, who's got Power of the Control? Show that Israeli Hebrew Hulk 1. It's fucking an amazing book. Show that one.
I think Gino's gone, so we're
you bring up Robert and the Tri collections that he's trying to do. I've sent some of his books to CGC for him and stuff, and so I do know, now that I think about it, that he has reached out. I think he's tried to call and contact them for different things, and I know he's had different notes with his submission forms and things like that. Because I don't know.
Well, I think they're starting to collect them. They just need more data.
Yeah.
It's like Johnny 5, man. Short Circuit. Need more data.
Show that full book. It's a beautiful
offer to help.
Hulk 1.
Maybe you can do it.
Yep, give me a second. I had all of them from our little chat today. Hold on one second.
Yeah, this is an amazing book, you guys. This is
Kevin, and how did he get his own comics?
This is an Israeli Hebrew Hulk 1. It is an amazing foreign edition, and the spine is on the right because you have to read right to left in Hebrew. So all the art has been flipped.
I found one for $1 today. I hope you know that. I'm joking. I didn't.
It
was the $2 bin.
Matt, I agree with what you said to celebrate what CGC did. 100%.
Yes. I want to celebrate them throwing a bone to us.
Yeah, every car that comes out is an improvement on the last. Again, just whatever metaphor you want to use. Growing pains is a great start. Celebrate it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I do want to say too that, like you said, sometimes like Nico said and stuff, it's like sometimes the market's stale when it comes to CGC and innovation. I don't know the next time we'll see innovation on this, but it is a breath of fresh air that they recognize something. I mean, I don't know what the next innovation would be, but it's nice to see innovation when it comes to tech. I mean, we see technological gains in CGC with cases and stuff, but at least to see innovation with
notation.
Yeah, notation.
It's a big deal. It's ground shaking. Yeah. Like John said, it's going to allow collectors, especially the collectors that aren't, hip to all the different information, or even the groups, to be able to research what foreign books are out there. And like you said, John, can we start building some real registry sets now? Maybe so.
All right, you guys ready to move on?
Yeah, let's move on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a good segment. I love it.
I was going to say, if we don't do the market report soon, I may not be able to fucking make it. Me and the 2-star whiskey are not getting along.
Do you want me to run it, or who wants to run it? I'll run it, I guess. I don't care.
I can run it. I got it.
Run it, dude. Run it.
All right, you got you up. I'm going to go real fast and try and not fuck around today.
A little late for that.
All right. Batman 11. I didn't pull any census data. We've been talking about this book many, many times. 5,025 for 5.5 is actually a little over $1,000 less than the last 5.5. So somebody got a real fucking good deal.
Yeah, I screwed up, dude. Shame on me. I didn't. That's awesome.
On one of the premier Joker covers of all of them. When Nico sent it to me, I thought it was a high sale, and I looked. I'm like, oh shit, that's a low sale. I should have bought it.
Definitely not.
So,
but wait till next week when a new market report comes with a new Joker image.
Yes. This one, Ozzy, I found this and I was like, that seems like an odd sale, and I called my brother who loves fucking Batman and collects a lot of the copper age stuff, and he's like, that's a $300 book all day, and I said, I just saw one for $550. I got home an hour later, and he's like, dude, there's been like 4 sales in the $500 to $600 range on these newsstands.
Yep.
This book is taken the fuck off. He's like,
I've looked for it. Yeah, I've looked for it in newsstand. They're tough to find 9/8 for cheap.
They did not used to be even 6 months ago. He's like, 6 months ago, I could have bought it for $300 all day.
So, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's jumped. Boba Fett, $300 over where it used to be last month. Why not? It's Star Wars. That's what we do. We jump and jump and jump.
Oh, I sold my 60. What's the other one? 67, 68.
Yeah,
60. Yeah, it's jumping
yellow
too.
One. Yeah, I sold my newsstand that for like $275.
Oh God, I don't think you can get one for less than $2,000 on eBay right now.
No. Oh my lord!
Don't think about Star Wars stuff. Clone Wars.
The 67's the first Mandalorians, according to some people. I don't know if that's on the label, but that's one of the reasons why it's like almost as expensive or more expensive than that one.
I just want to shoot Clone Wars 1300 for a 9.4. The variant. This book is just
gross.
Intense.
Yeah, pass this one by for me, please.
9.4s, yeah.
Ugh.
The only sale on GP of this book, Clone Wars Shipyards of Doom.
I've never seen one in person.
There are 9 graded, 2 9/8s, and I think 3 9/6s. I could be slightly off, but there's not many.
You never seen one
is the first sale.
You're digging in the bin, it's like down low, so you just think it's
just a board.
Did that come with a video game or what? I don't even know what that book
is. It's a Target exclusive with something.
I thought it was a children's book. Am I wrong?
Yeah, isn't it a digest size?
Yeah, it's a tiny book.
I've got issues 2 and 3, but somebody was smart enough to grab those before I ever got to the Star Wars books.
Yeah, so
or 3 and 4 or something. I can't remember.
I think I added it too late, and I don't think Brian did a slide, but the Heir to the Empire 1 newsstand had a 9/8 sale at $2,500 yesterday.
Damn.
$2,500.
That's the second one that sold for that much.
Wow.
No. That's the only one. The one before was $1,700.
Didn't another one sell for $2,500 like 3 days ago?
Was it 3 days ago? And I'm a little off. There's one sale for 25. The one prior was like 5 days ago at 17.
The $2,500 one was Friday, I think, or
Maybe
the
it's
night
Friday.
before. Yeah.
The comic pack variant had a sale under 15, which is interesting to me.
For a 9.8?
Yes.
Wow.
Because there's 124 9/8 of the standard, 9 9/8 of the newsprint, and 7 9/8 of the comic pack. But the comic pack is later than the original book, so it kind of is a reprint. So I don't know where to feel on that market.
Super rare and high grade.
Both of them are very rare. I don't know where you go. I don't know which one we choose. Just saying.
You wait until next year to buy Star Wars. That's what you do.
Yes, don't buy any of them right now.
And then this time next year, sell them all again. Yes.
One of my favorite books, Caliber Presents, sold for a second highest price of all time, $21.25. There was a $2,200 sale last year for some reason, a blip on the radar, and then it had 5 or 6 sales near $1,500, $1,600 and kind of dropped, and then just this last sale finally popped up. Crow 1 has been skyrocketing, so honestly, it doesn't surprise me this one's finally picking up. It just is amazing how far behind it follows.
Which is your preference, Z?
I like Crow 1. It's a better image.
Yeah, Crow 1's way better.
So it just is. We're going to do a couple oldies but goodies. I didn't even research the census on this one, but I just like to see it. Crime Patrol 15.
Oh!
This caused our friend Ben C. to leave comics for at least 18 months when he missed one last time.
100% accurate. 100% I can vouch for that.
His brain pretty much exploded. He couldn't take it.
He was writing a story on funny animal books and missed the CP15 auction and literally left every hangout and didn't talk to us for a year.
Wow.
I mean, it takes a hell of a book to cause you to just leave comics.
I admire that. That's the kind of resolve I admire.
I still talk to him, obviously, but he literally he mostly disappeared.
What's the love? What's his love with this book specific?
It's the first Crypt Keeper, dude.
Yeah,
and it's hard. It's a ghost. It's just one of the greatest first appearance of a PCH character that's also crosses over to modern everything. You know what I mean? Fuck, dude. I mean, just if I only had that picture and I paid $1,000 and I only got the cover in the mail, I don't even know if I'd be mad.
Yeah. This is a 4 copy for $1,000.
Yeah.
And there are chunks missing. We can obviously see.
The covers is not bad though. You can fold back that corner. Maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why would
you can try? It's a golden age book. You never know how those things are gonna like react or anything.
No, there's a lot of pieces.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
At least 4 chunks.
But like, what's the cheapest you've seen one sell for? I've never seen one that cheap.
That.
Yeah, I've never seen
that right here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the cover's worth $1,000, dude.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying it was an interesting sale, and every time I see that book sale, it makes me think of my friend Ben.
You know what's weird is that high grade copies don't sell for like ginormous money either. There was like an 8.0 that like hovered around like $8,000 and stayed up and went down and went back up. And
it's the Gaines copies. There are a lot in high grade, and there's a lot in low grade, and there's not a fuck ton in the middle. It's a weird phenomenon in these books.
That makes sense, yeah. Good old Gaines.
All right, Crime Suspense 22.
Speak of the devil, right?
Crime Suspense 19.
Is that
this
Gaines
is
file?
not noted as a Gaines copy.
Okay.
There are 84 in the census, 2 at 9.6, 9 at 8.5 or higher. This is an 8.0. A 9.5 in last year sold for $9,000 and change. That can't be right. 1,000 and change. And in March, an 8.5 sold for $861. So this is kind of a 50% uptick.
Who sold that?
I didn't look.
Okay, because you see the number on there, so you know it's like one of the big boys when they have to fucking label where their slabs are located in their warehouse.
No, that makes sense. I didn't even pay attention.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's why it sold high.
Yeah, probably it's a big boy.
Helps,
the other book in the run, another big boy sold. Same seller probably.
It's not a bad price.
It's a good price. I just sold my 4.5 2 months ago, and I did the math. This is $200 higher than I sold it minus fees and all that shit.
Yeah. So can I apologize to somewhat interrupt. Maybe it's a topic for after the market report or a totally different show. eBay fees on prices this high cap out at a certain amount with
It's
the
like
new eBay.
$250, I think.
They do, but higher than this.
It was. You want me to expose the big boy seller?
Sure.
No, I want to know where does the fee structure change? I think it's above 5 or 10.
I thought it was less than that. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't.
I've sold a few. I don't know if I've hit above 2,500, but I don't think it's.
Hey, I hit 1,300 this Sunday.
They still hit you pretty hard in that range.
It is what it is. It's where the market's at. So it's necessary evil, just like CGC.
DS Comics says $500 fee is the cap. So I'm just a little minnow. When I used to sell stuff or list stuff, in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, what is 14% off of what I want to sell it for?
Yeah, that's about right.
But if this is one of the big sellers, like whoever.
I mean, we all know it. I can say it. You want me to say it?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's fine. I'm just.
It's my comic shop.
Yeah, they have it. They've got deals worked out with eBay.
Right.
They don't pay. They only pay.
Yeah,
like
they don't
1%.
pay that.
They only pay like 1 or 2%. So
there's somehow in there, like once it sells, if they don't have, they have most stuff is especially books like this or cross listed. You know what I mean? So once it sells, you got a couple seconds. Like Reese's Rare Comics is like that too. That actually they have the hookup with eBay where it comes off their website, it comes off of eBay. They have whatever it is that gets them like in sync with that. Something the rest of us wish we could do, but like
it's eBay API, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean. Like,
I know, I got you. Yeah.
Like the rest of us wouldn't do that. They'd be like, "Why would you have a website? You just use us."
Yeah, I guess a little bit of Sean shed a little bit of light on it, a little bit of free cornbread as the classic.
This is still less than $500 fee though.
So my comic shop is a seller. If you see a book as the seller is my comic shop, if you go to their website, it may be a lower price.
No, it is a lower price.
It's always 10% lower, right?
Yeah, and I mean there is sales tax with Texas and stuff now. I mean not with everywhere, all the eBay stuff like that. So unfortunately, MCS there's tax now. But yeah, if you see a book that sells my comic shop, directly go on there. The one caveat to that is if they have cheap, sometimes they have like I don't think they match up inventory when they have like the cheap ass books, like the $5 books, they don't have scans for that. They just give you a grade. So like if you can actually buy, they might actually have some more on eBay and some that are on their site. So you can kind of double clear them out. And Mile High is the same way. And also Mile High, if you do that, they send you a gift certificate because they have to cancel one of the orders.
Yeah.
So you get $23 on Mile High by ordering it from both places. Sorry, Chuck.
The other thing is, if you really want to splice your pennies, if the eBay bonus bucks or whatever is happening at the time, maybe it's more cost effective for you as the buyer, more rewarding rather to buy it from eBay versus the website. But I don't think more often than not it is. But
eBay stopped their 10%, man. I've only seen 5% for the last 6 or 9 months.
Yeah, and Joe's Duelin's the same thing. Reese's Rare Comics, they have the same thing, and those are also only just from dealing with them at like cons and buying stuff off their website. Those are also very nice people. So, and they sure as shit got a lot of books. So,
anyway, sorry for the derail. What's up? What's next?
Good cornbread's good, man. Cornbread's always good.
Cornbread's always good. A couple more Golden Age books, and I swear that's it. One Sean will love. Mad 1 Comics. This was a 3.5 copy that is really nice. I kind of looked at it thinking maybe it was beat up because it's selling a little under what they did.
I don't like that price.
You what?
I don't like that price.
No, you don't.
The market isn't love it. A 4.5 sold in May for $10.20. In 3.0 in November, there was an 840 sale for a grade lower than this. 3 sales higher this year in the same grade. This is a very nice presenting copy. Like when I looked at it, there are no, folds, tears, all that bullshit. This is a nice ass copy for under market.
Yeah, and the covers matter. I think mine's a 4 or 5, but I bought it because the color was like really. You see, the cover's even darker than this. I don't know if you guys can hear that. The cover's darker than this, and
Fist
so
fight in
like,
the background.
Yeah, this is a clean ass copy for a 3.5.
Yeah, and that's a good price.
Yeah, it was
You listed that at $9.99 the next day. It'd probably sell the next day for $9.99.
I honestly think you're probably right. This was a Nico book. I hope he's here to tell me what the fuck you want to talk about. Zip Comics 1 8.0. There are 34 in the census, 3 9.0s, a 9.8, which is the church copy. I didn't even look at prices because nobody fucking cares.
Yeah.
Nico?
It's just a fucking exceptional sale of an exceptional book, and that it just rolled out of Canada like it was no big fucking deal. I thought it was worth talking about for
you won't fucking see any.
Yeah,
And a Charles Bureau superhero cover.
Dude.
Good shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna mark this as the sketchy / interesting sale of the week, tying to our podcast.
Woo!
Italian Spider-Man 300.
It says 9.8.
Yeah, it's a fucking lie. I didn't even need to message Sean on this one. There's a couple smudges. The spine is really nice. They're from Edgeware, and the bitch of this book though is that black rubs off. The Italians did not have bags and boards. They don't fucking use them. It's a beautiful spine. It's not a 9.8. I question 9.4 at best, maybe 9.2. I think probably some buyers got a little crazy because this book sells usually probably 125 to 150 anymore. You're not going to find it cheaper than that.
No, not even in Italy.
No, if you use your eyes, you'll find a good copy for that price, but they'll sell you a shit copy for the same price. They do not care about grading. They do not differentiate a nice copy and a shit copy. So just look at all the pictures.
Nice.
This is a seller in America who I feel probably mislabeled this and probably risks a return, but maybe not. But this is a fucking hell of a price. I bought my 9.2 at way less than this, and there are no recorded graded sales higher than this. However, there's only 2 9.4s in CGC and that beautiful CBCS 9.4 that Matt showed sometime an hour ago.
Here, this 9.4 right here. Show this for a second.
That's the top of the census. That's it.
This
That is it.
9.4 I bought for $35, and the Italian seller shipped it in a manila envelope only across the Atlantic.
Wow.
It somehow survived. I paid $35 for it.
Because it's so fucking thick.
And John's right. You can't press this book.
No.
It's got the cardstock cover, and if
don't we
I
do
know
that?
who has
One
one of the 9.4 CGCs. It's Koi fucking cakes, the asshole.
yeah, Koi has it.
Fucking Koi.
That's a strong price, though. That's a really strong price.
I don't know. I think it might get returned, but whatever.
Yeah, it ain't gonna get a 9.8. I'm sorry.
No.
Dreaming.
I
the
question
market seller's
9.4.
dreaming.
People came in behind me, so sorry about that. But you can press it, but it's just one of those where you have to like beyond temper your expectations, and it's not. That's definitely not a type of book that's going to enjoy fucking the heat's not a problem. It's not going to enjoy moisture at all.
Yeah.
So like whatever, like you can like help little digs and stuff like that. Barely. There's not much you can do. And plus books that thick, let's be honest, just do the math. If you got a 1/4 inch thick book, that the spine isn't going to hit the top and bottom of the heat. You know what I mean? It's just like, just picture it. Like it's hard. It's hard to help. You can help it. You can help it, but you can barely help it.
Yeah,
like,
Italian collectors, for the most part, kept their books in stacks. So John is correct. They did not have bags and boards until about the late 80s, and only the hardcore guys had them.
Yeah.
You don't see bags and boards in Western Europe until probably the 90s and into the 2000s. Everything before that was just kept in stacks, and The problem with that book is because it's all black, it scuffs like crazy. So you'll see really nice copies without color breaking, but there'll be scuffing on that cover from just getting moved around in stacks. And that is a problem with the Italian 300.
What year? You know what? I've thought of this before. I've never said it out loud nor researched it. What year did we start bagging and boarding comics here in the U.S.?
Early 60s.
Early 60s?
Yeah.
Okay. Earlier than I thought. All right.
Yeah, they had advertisements for them in old school comics.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just buying submarines for 75 cents.
Sea monkeys.
Yeah, sea monkeys.
I would love
Sea
to.
monkeys, they let me down so hard.
I would love to talk to the guys who saw those ads. Like, what do you think? Bag and board my comic. Like, what a gimmick.
Yeah.
And here we are. Like, that's the standard. And so I was going to say earlier, I got interrupted. Anyway. What would you rather teach? I guess it doesn't make a difference of caring for your comics as teaching the whole foreign community, Italy, whatever, Mexico, to care for the comics they have, or to ship properly. Like I feel like my vote would be shipping too.
I've got a guy in Brazil who has like $3,000 worth of my books, and I see them sitting on his desk, no bag, no board, daily.
Is this Victor, John?
I love him. He's trying to take care of. He's waiting for bags and boards to get there.
He's a beautiful man.
But they are sitting there just in the stack, fucking raw, because they do not have bags and boards.
Are they right by a window as the sun comes every day over?
It's the bag and
he's
board
like, I can't ship them to you because I need a bag and a board.
Dude.
It didn't get out of America. For so many of these other countries, they didn't get the bag and board mentality. Some of them as late until we're post 2000s. But, by the late 80s, early 90s, they started catching on to bags and boards. But, one of the most interesting things about the foreign editions is that collectors will tell you that you could go, by the late 80s and the early 90s, you had foreign comic shops, right?
Yeah.
But you couldn't buy bags and boards there. You could just buy the books. So you could buy them, but you couldn't keep them in those great conditions. And so when you're dealing with Brazil, the Philippines, and some of these other countries that had 100% humidity in jungle environments and whatnot, that's why you just don't see those ultra high grades in foreigns. And if you do, you better pray to the comic gods and sacrifice something to them, because you're just not going to see it.
You guys remember comicspriceguide.com?
Yeah.
It could still be around. I don't remember. They used to have good forums and stuff, but I remember I bought a Defenders 26, the Guardians of the Galaxy cover, off of a dude there. I don't know, 2011 or 12 or something like that. And I'm not paying that much attention. I was like, man, that's a great price. So I just pay the guy. He ships it from fucking Australia in a manila envelope with no bag and board and a cereal box, Australian Frosted Flakes top, cut the same size as the comic in the manila envelope with the comic. Showed up perfect.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get lucky.
Little giveaway back then.
I had a very similar experience with my El Gato Negro.
Oh shit! Do you want to sell that, Nico? I'm interested in buying that.
No, moving right along.
Matt, you're like at least third in line. You don't have a shot.
Okay.
All right, I got 3 more books to show. That's it, and I'm done. Just because I wanted to cover this niche in the market. I'm leading into it. Hold on, fuck. This is the lead-in. Spider-Man Platinum has been all over the fucking place.
Oh, I just sold my 9.6.
A 9.8 sold for $25.51. This book has been in the last year anywhere from $11.75 to $2,500. All over the fucking charts, back forth. If you want this book, you got to just watch for it.
Yeah, and yeah.
Okay. It is the holy grail of Spider-Man 1s.
Or you just buy my 9.6 signature series.
I might do that. Tying into that, I wanted to lead into this 9.9 silver logo
Nice.
that sold for $833. In case you're wondering, a 9.8 of the same book, because this book was printed the fucking bajillions, sells for $85. So a tenfold increase to a 9.9. 9.9s are a weird beast. And since we're talking about them, I just wanted to show two more. Maybe one more, because I don't think we loaded the other one. This is the more important of the two. Walking Dead 9.9.
Holy shit.
1350.
So okay, so I want to go to the opposite end of the spectrum. Does anyone remember the advertised lowest graded copy and what that sold for?
$500, right?
Yeah, like $700 or $800, right?
Yeah.
All right.
But
I
let's
wonder
just
where
say,
that is.
let's say a Walking Dead one's roughly 2,500. It might be 2,250. It might be 3,000. This is at best a 4 to 5 ratio.
One sold for like $2,200 Sunday.
So 5 times 9.8.
That's a good purchase, dude. It's probably good.
That's not a bad deal. The other book I wanted to show, and I don't have the rate or the number on the standard, is this TNMT 95 First Jenica, sold for $1,600.
Interesting.
That's not terrible either, to be honest with you.
But
I mean,
that's
it's high, but it's like that's the upper echelon of fucking collecting.
9.9 is a weird beast.
and that's not even the only cover for number 95.
But it might be the only 99. And I doubt there's more coming, because I love how they put the stupid freaking rubber bumper on it, like it was gonna die.
I don't know. That's all I got. The 9.9s. There was a fuck ton of 9.9s this week.
Don't put a helmet on your slab.
The three flame emojis. Just set it to the
stuff, buddy.
I sold my 9.6 platinum for $830. That's not too bad, I guess. I don't know, man. Well, no, I paid $830. I won. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of got a guy on a good auction. I won a Spider-Man 1 9.6 platinum. Spider-Man won the silver 9.8, the regular cover 9.8. And a regular cover number 1 9.8 SS McFarlane and Stanley for like $800. So nice. I'm not too mad about this.
Maybe you said a 9.8 platinum.
9.6 platinum. 9.6 platinum. I sold for it says $849.99.
You sold that and kept all the other shit.
Yeah, I have a displayed McFarlane Stanley SS98 for it. So that, you know what I mean? I mean, not platinum of the regular cover, but 9.6 just ugh. So like, you know, so I got it. So I had to keep this. So the 9.8 SS, and like it's funny because that's one of the only, like I would like have a display with some stuff, like that's the only thing I'm allowed to control in the part of the house that everyone can see. And so that's the book I have in there because it's the one I can explain to like fucking regular people. Like a Spider-Man 1 McFarlane. Everyone knows who Stanley is. Almost everyone knows who Todd McFarlane is, and everybody knows who fucking Spider-Man is. So yeah, and they all know Stanley's dead, so they'll figure it's worth money.
So I feel like the 9.9 and 10 rarity comic slab, is me personally. I mean, buying one, I feel like you're buying the grade unless you're holding the book in your hand. But have any of you guys subbed a book that's come back 9.9 or 10?
That's not Batman Damned.
That's not Batman. Oh, I got 210.
Yeah.
Honestly, all the books that I've subbed, and like I don't mean just for me because I sub for other people. I've got one freaking 9.9, and I would write my grades on books, and it was on site in Baltimore, and I wrote 9.9 and I tagged it. The stupid Bloodshot Reborn number 10, and I paid them extra for the Valiant label. And so I sold it for like $800 or $900, and the guy auctioned it 3 months later and got like $250.
Oh shoot!
I was like, ow! That's not a book you auction, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a 9.9 East of West CBCS, which is worth dog shit right now.
I had a really good 9.9 flip. So Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, you know how the second prints are the sketch variants to like the high-end variants?
Hell yeah.
So this dude came on eBay and he had number 1 and number 2 of the second print sketch in 9.9s.
Nice.
and I gave him $300.
Wow.
And yeah, I sold the set for $1,200 about 6 months
Fuck
later.
yeah, dude. Well done.
And it'd probably be worth more now. Those are two of my
Those
favorites.
are those camel covers.
I thought no one would pay me $1,200, and it's one of those when it sells, and you're all, I can never get this again. Like it's over. These will depart from me, and that's why the guy paid for it, because you're not gonna get another. Even if you can get another 9.9, you're not gonna get another 1 and a 2. You know. So yeah. So anyway, that sucked. But no, it didn't suck monetarily. It just sucked. I don't have them anymore.
I mean, you thought you could get more later.
So I've got 1 and 2 10s, but they're Batman damned.
I mean, it's almost as bad as that Wolverine 310 or that Red She-Hulk. Is it 58 and 59? The real hard ones to find. I mean, that's we talk about sets. I mean,
yeah, that 58, wonderful Greg Horn cover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So someone asked a comment or seen difference between a 9.8 and 9.9. It's usually because the person who submits it is in bed with CGC.
Mm-hmm. That's what I meant. That's what I was getting at.
But Eric, there's no difference.
That's what I meant. Is you submit it yourself? I can't imagine how much better it would feel to get that grade back on the book you've held before encapsulation versus buying it already graded 9, 9, 10. And I speaking as somebody who has bought 9, 9s and 10s from CBCS specifically in the past, way back when, and has not experienced that like holy smokes 9, 9, 10, my book, my submission. But I agree with Sean. You got to. I think it's an embed thing, or they recognize your name because you submit 25 books a month or whatever.
Yeah, and like, well, and if you guys remember, I mean, Joe brought it up with the 9.9, the Trey got, and that wasn't because he's in bed. CBCS gave a few more 9.9s, which I believe they should. I think 9.8 is a lazy grade. If a book's flawless, especially some of these like these new DC books that are like cardstock, they're like perfect. You know. Oh, by the way, besides Batman Damned, I'm going to say lenticulars. Those don't count either.
I enjoy
leather and lenticular don't count.
Dennis, our friend at Wonderworld's talking about 9.9s, and I very really recall him having a Chew 1 9.9 for a while.
Nice.
Yeah, is that man?
Matt Nelson, when I interrogated him about what the fuck is a 9.9, what the fuck is a 10, had a pretty concrete explanation for that. What they use as their standard, and basically his statement was that all books have these sort of like embedded flaws that you see in all of the books, right? And we generally ignore them. They're the kind of things that make it into the grader notes, the whatever, and the 9.9s and the 10s, they don't have them. That's why they're the unicorns. Frankly, I've not done well with 9.9s or 10s. Have had very few ever. And the last one I had was an Umbrella Academy 1 in 10 number 1. And I didn't do too well on the flip. But, that may have more to do with when I ran the auction and how I got rid of it. It was probably a week too early when Umbrella Academy hit, but it's whatever.
Dude, unless you're a big dealer and it's like something insane, like one of the most, Spidey 300.
2.9s, Dennis, you lucky bastard.
New Mutants 98, something like that. Like there's not, a 9.9's usually going to be on a personal account, not a great, just not a great auction. Unfortunately, it's hard to get the most eyes on those things unless you're real,
nobody's searching 9.9s either.
Bullshit. Yep. Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. I'm not doing 10s and 9.9s.
Okay, you're right. Nobody should. No, 9.9s and 10s are the white whales, man. My buddy showed me some crazy. My buddy Eddie showed me some crazy books that came across the shop. There was like a Secret Wars 899.
That's an expensive book.
Spidey 257.99. And there's a few of those. I think. I mean, what's the?
There's some 10s in the Secret Wars 8 because one
Is
just
there?
sold for like 20K plus. It might have been 25K plus on Comic Link.
And the last time I think New Mutants 98 10 sold was like 20 grand. I think that's a goddamn bargain. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly do. I mean, Deadpool's Deadpool, dude. Like,
I wish I had money for a 10 of that book.
Does it bother anybody else that they kind of gray out the number? It looks bad to me. Like when you see like the real bold 9.8 with the black, and then the 9, 9, and 10 are like it almost looks gray. It doesn't look right.
yeah, it is. Isn't the 9.9? It's supposed to be gold, but it looks. You're right. It does look light,
It
almost
does
like
look
it could be
faded.
Like
gray.
a gold leaf.
Yeah, it's
They
not.
use gold
Yeah, I
leaf
don't find.
in it.
I don't find. Yeah, I don't find it pretty. To be
I'm much more interested in pedigree books than I am in 9/9s and 10s, but that's probably more of like the kind of books that I like.
I tell you what,
that's preference. I mean, there's just no way that
Yeah.
a key or 9/9 or 10, and we all look at it in the case, dude, and there's no difference. I get books that there's no way they're supposed to be 9/8s that are 9/8s, but you know what? It says it on the label. You know, I tried to have some guy tried to return a 9/8 on me one time because he said it was so terrible, and he was right. It was the ugliest. It was the ugliest 9/8 ever. It was a Steel 17 second print 9/8, and it was fucking ugly. Like there was and because in slabs I take, if I list, I'll usually list like a front and back scan, and then like a closer of the label. People want to see the label, whatever. It's my thing. And then, but like on this book, I was like, ugh. I'm gonna take like 10 pictures of this slab. I never do that because it was terrible. I was like, you can't return it for not as described. All the pictures there, and it's 9.8. Just because you don't agree with the grade, I can't as a comic, sometimes reseller, I can't take that stance in life where I allow people to just return 9/8s that they don't like.
No,
okay, it's not these losers that put 9.8 at the beginning of the auction when it's a raw book.
No, because a fucking slab return means you send it out for at least.
12.
If you didn't pay for insurance or signature, you send it out for $15, and you're paying back $15. That's bullshit.
I
and
returned.
If you spend $1,000 on that book, you're paying for signature and maybe insurance.
I returned a 9/8 slab one time from eBay because I wasn't happy with the way it. What?
Because you're Paul.
Because I'm Paul. No,
problem.
So the defect I found wasn't in the pictures. I couldn't clearly identify it. This is 100% PC book. I paid good money for it, and I got it, and I couldn't get over it. If it was on the back, I could have swallowed the pill, but I couldn't get over it. I had to return it, and that's this thing. Is it a 9/9?
Pay for return shipping back to the guy.
I don't remember, man.
All right, dude.
No.
You can return for anything. You can pay for the shipping. I'll just be like, okay, whatever, man. So, but yeah, you got to do that, man.
Yeah, it was a shit show. So I'll wear that. I'll eat that crow plate platter. But that's the difference. So 9/9, are you buying the grade you buy of the label? Or are you buying the grade of the book?
9/9, you're buying the label.
Yeah, you're buying the label.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I gotta go. I told my wife I was going to be 30 minutes.
Good job at that, Matt. You've been 2 hours.
That's fun.
I'm going to follow your good lead, Matt, because I'm tragically old and it's almost my bedtime. But thank you all for enduring me. I had a great time.
Yeah, this was fun. Thanks for having me.
Later, brother.
I'm sorry if I got a little.
You're going to call off work tomorrow with that.
Hey, nobody can hate on passing, brother.
Nope.
I got
and very good information.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely, I'm holding that front down on the foreign stuff. But CBSI, I'm going to say this again. This group of guys is the first, real more mainstream comic group that really brought in the foreign guys and really gave us to talk about what we do. And I appreciate that. I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm a part of the CBSI team. Thanks for having me. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side, baby.
Hell yeah, brother.
Define 999 out.
See you, Matt.
So real quick, I found these old wizards, and there was something interesting that I wanted to show everybody. Let's check this out. So this is old school. This is Wizard from April of '99. The Dawn cover by Linsner.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Look at this.
Tomorrow night. Is that Batman Beyond?
Yeah, and
Wow.
I don't know how early this was printed. It's probably after, but it
Get your
says
fingerprints off that. That's a possible 10.0.
You were
bro.
reading in the shitter today, weren't you?
The Dark Knight leaps to the future in the hit animated series Batman Beyond. So it must have been out for a little bit, but it's very interesting. It it does a little thing on all the characters, and
You got to send that to Topher.
all right. So it's got there we go. There's our man Bruce Timm right there.
Nice, man.
Yeah, so I love you guys know like Wizard are the greatest thing in the world for shooter reading material.
I just found I'm cleaning my garage last week. I was off last week, so I cleaned my garage because we moved here in May and I needed to do that before my wife killed me. So I found a box of Wizards. There's got to be like 40 of them in there.
They're great, dude.
I'm so excited.
I want to show my small slab of or my small section of Wizards off when I
So
can.
here's the top 10 from then. Number 1, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Hell yeah.
Look at number 2.
The What If 105. That was always a tough book to get in decent grade. It was tough to find. It was like low printed. I think it was the last issue of What If.
Yeah.
And then Daredevil 1, the Kevin Smith run. The Inhumans 1. Jay and Silent Bob number 1. Crimson. Pokemon, the Electric Tail of Pikachu number 1, which is the first Pokemon. What is the other one? Dark Minds number 1. Tomb Raider Witchblade number 1. And Kiss the Psycho Circus. So, but all right. So here's the next one, though. This one's kind of cool. This is Wizard from. Let's see here. This is April of 2002. It's got the Just a Pilgrim Preacher cover, Garth Ennis stuff. But in the book of the month, it's Star Wars Tales.
Wow.
Yeah. And it says, it's funny because it says 5 stars. The top 5 must read Star Wars Tales. You ready for this?
Oh, shit.
Star Wars Tales number 7.
Yeah.
Like I think that's the isn't that like the first
Boba's daughter, right?
Boba Fett's daughter? But they say it's because Star Wars meets a Food Network's cult hit Iron Chef in this spoof that finds a Jedi named Micah Gillette embroiled in a cooking competition with Jabba the Hutt's robotic chef. However, the two aren't competing for fame and the people's ovation, but for their lives. Iron Chef fans might even notice cameos by Sherman Kaga in the story as well. So if you remember, Star Wars Tales had all these really funny things too. Like they even talk about how Garth Ennis wrote a story in there. And
he did?
Yeah.
Did you read the Garth Ennis story?
I finally, for the first time in my life, want to read a fucking Star Wars book.
It's really good.
It is the story of the stormtrooper that goes through the doors first in the first Star Wars.
Oh, that hit his head?
Yep.
Yes, it's amazing.
So it says right here, it says, however, the stories aren't the only drawing power of Tales. The list of writers and artists who have worked in the series reads like a who's who of the comic industry, from superstars like Garth Ennis to veterans like Captain Marvel writer Peter David and creator Sergio Aragonis.
Yes.
So like there's
Sergio, but yeah.
Yeah, this is the one, but I remember this because the book that I collect the most out of Star Wars Tales is Star Wars Tales number 9, the Vader versus Darth Maul book, because that was always my, like, when Darth Maul came out, I was so stoked with Darth Maul. I was like, we got to see what it would happen if Vader and Darth Maul, and they did this, and they did a really cool, like a boxing match variant for it that's badass. And they bring it up in here. They say, Ron Mars wrote an epic battle between Darth Vader and Darth Maul in Star Wars Tales number 9. So, like, I remember writing this because that must have been where I looked for that. But it's funny. Here's the rest of them. So, number 4, top 5, Yaddle's Tale, the one below, which is Tales number 5. Number 3 is Trooper. Tales number 10, written and drawn by Hitman team of Garth Ennis and John McCrea.
Trooper, that's fantastic.
Yep. Trooper tells the story of a stormtrooper who fears his luck is about to run out when the Empire captures a rebel vessel and he is forced to lead the assault to take it over. And when he eventually runs into a certain rebel princess, it all comes down who can draw their weapon faster. But you're right, see, yeah. Number 2 is Tales number 7, another Tales and numbers story in Tales number 7. It says, in a spoof on Pulp Fiction, Mace Windu and Yoda talk over a cup of coffee in a diner, only to be interrupted by bounty hunters. Even Yoda breaks character to use a Jedi mind trick on a waitress to make their meal complimentary. Fiction was written by Kevin Rubio, who Star Wars fans may recognize as the director of internet-based short film Troops. Number 1 was Resurrection, the Tales number 9 of Darth Vader and Darth Maul. That's how they had. They had no mention of anything that's hot right now. Nothing.
I don't think they were out yet.
You might have been right. You might have been right.
They stuck between like 1 and 9.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be right. But and then the top hot 10 this week, just because I have it, is.
Oh, remember it was month. It wasn't week.
Yeah, month. Number 1, Alias number 1. Number 2,
Right.
The Dark Knight Strikes Again. Number 3,
That's
Incredible Hulk 34.
The more
Fury
things change,
number 1.
the more they stay the same.
Origin number 1. That was a great when that first came
That
out.
was a good
People were
story.
so stoked for that. Yeah. Catwoman number 2. Ultimate Spider-Man number 13. Liberty Meadows, the Wedding Album, is number 8. Inferno Hellbound number 1 is number 9, and G.I. Joe number 1 is 10. So, yeah, craziness. Anyway, so there's some interesting stuff from McClay's shitter.
Yeah, that dude. I gotta pull stuff into the shitter.
Brian,
I really do,
Brian,
man. I just found those outside, and they're my favorite. I mean, like honestly, you know, I know it's obviously like your gig now, but like the whole point of doing a top 10 in the first place was to try to recreate, you know, some of that wizard magic. 100%, man. And that's what and America loves lists.
Yes,
We do. We love lists.
We love lists.
Brian, you mentioned a boxing match, and I just popped into my head, which I don't want this to be the new store variant craze, but how cool would it be to have a Vader Darth Maul homage cover to Superman versus Muhammad Ali?
yeah,
That'd be cool.
that would be cool.
I pulled off my shelf. I don't have any pickups; they're all still in boxes. I haven't opened.
Can it be
yet.
comic book size, please?
Yeah, right. Please. The only Wizards I own, which I bought way back when, but this is I sort of in order. So this is February 2006, just because the black back in black.
Ooh, nice.
And then I have this is April 2007. I guess I'm going. I didn't sort them correctly. Big surprise. Another Venom.
Nice.
Some Buffy in there, and then I got this was some spec on Death of Captain America. This is May 2007, Death of a Legend, and then this is when is this one from? December 2008. A little bit of ScarJo.
Nice. That's real nice.
Yeah,
and then
I never saw that one. Oh, that's the actual magazine size when they expanded, right?
Yeah, that's when they went bigger.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that's not Wizard. So this is Mad Magazine 1991.
Nice.
Oh, there you go, dude. Yeah.
So this is just off my bookshelf. I forgot. I thought they were all Wizard magazine. What is this? This is man, I'm gonna butcher this. Cinema Fantasque, number June 1991, volume 21, number 6. Some turtle stuff. That's the last one. And,
Oh yeah.
whatever.
Nice.
Is
That's
that like
good.
a wraparound cover?
I don't know. It's a good question. I have no idea. Of course. Why would I? But
as he puts tape on them.
no, I just pulled the board out. No, not a wraparound. That's the back. But anyway, you're showing off some Wizards, so that's what I had. sitting nearby.
That's cool, man. I didn't realize what number is that Mad issue? It says on the cover. Just curious the actual number.
Yeah. This is number 306.
Okay. I need I have my original copy of Mad 265. It's the Garbage Pail Kid cover with the Alfred E, and on the back it had Mad Garbage Pail Kids. And so I have mine, but because I'm a weird comic collector, I've been waiting all these years to try to actually somehow find a decent high grade copy of that. And it's probably not gonna ever come up. I don't know. Like I don't even mean 9.8, just like a real clean one I could put on the shelf where, you know what I mean?
I collect the Mad cover where it's the old, I think it's from the 60s. It's the Alfred E. Newman as Uncle Sam, and then the back is the Ringo Starr hair gel ad.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've got stacks
Frazetta did that.
Of the books, like the little, you know what I mean? The little paperback novel size, like you know what I mean? The size you'd read a paperback at. Like freaking high school. So I've got a ton of those. Done all my Mads with all that stuff. And they're not, not that they would be. They're not bagged and boarded. And by the way, am I crazy or magazine boards or magazine bags kind of sold out right now?
They are.
BCW doesn't have any. Yeah. And so I used to, I don't know, walk across the street to the LCS. I don't live across the street from that anymore, but I always thought
I found them in the shop. I couldn't order them online.
Yeah. So
there you go. That's the Frazetta.
That is amazing. That's Frazetta.
That's Frazetta, and it's hard to find because it's the back page, so it's hard to find not creased.
Yeah.
So if you guys ever look, it is from I think it's Mad number from October of '64. I think it's number 90. It's the one where he's holding the Fink's donut. Alfred E. Newman's. Here we go.
When you grade with CGC or something like that, can you tell them which cover to put on the front? Like if you wanted that, like on that one, if you wanted the back cover to be displayed.
Sometimes it's sometimes is the answer I've gotten.
I think you'd have to be. Oh, you can see how they folded it perfectly,
right?
For the puzzle on the inside back page. Like all my Mads all look like that.
Yeah, most of them look like. I've only ever found one that didn't have the folds. Every single one.
CGC will only do it sometimes, man. That's the answer I've gotten is sometimes.
So I did the math real quick. ScarJo is 24 years old in this. I just want to.
Yeah, that's definitely before she was burnt.
Just did the math,
dude. I saw that. So like, she made a party movie. This is off topic, so I'll make it quick. She made a party movie that was supposed to be like a counter to like the men's bachelor party movies, and it was her and her friends, and someone ends up dead in like some house they rent in Florida or something like that. And it was showing up, and my wife and I are going to the movies, and so I picked that because I thought it would make her happy and stuff. And it was the goddamn worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And not only that, ScarJo did not wear the clothes that you just showed on that magazine. She wore mom shorts and a sweater through the entire thing, and I didn't realize she had become this crazy feminazi like all of a sudden. So anyway, all right.
Why is she even on this cover? What was going on with her back then?
Why wouldn't you put ScarJo on the cover back then?
No. I agree, but I'm saying like
and you're selling to comic book people, dude. So
it was probably remember when they used to do those casting calls? They probably had her as like on one of the casting calls or something like that.
So it says ScarJo exclusive, The Spirit. So the movie Spirit.
Frank Miller did the Spirit.
Yeah, that was probably a flop.
I gotta go, gentlemen, or I'm gonna not make it.
Yeah, it's I hear you, brother.
All right. I got to do pickups because I promised a couple. So
yes, it's in the title.
It is in the title. I have two. I'm only going to do two. One is not the Grail, but sort of a Grail. My friend Ben, who had an auction, who some asshole didn't pay. I purchased it. Happens to be Grail on 9/6 Dead World 10.
Fuck off! That doesn't even exist.
I didn't know. I didn't know about the back cover. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, is that why you got it for the back cover? Is that why I've been buying it all these years?
Yeah.
I love the front cover. I didn't even know that it was the sweet back cover. All right.
Double
right.
trouble there.
So first crow,
All right.
two covers to this issue. Ben, my friend, sold me a really nice copy at a really nice price.
Well, what's the back? So what's the back? The first crow. First crow.
First crow.
And you put masking tape over the crow? Come on, man.
I didn't buy it. I bought it that way.
Never mind.
If you want to get real fucking technical, it's the first comic appearance of Crow because there's an advertising appearance in Caliber Press 1 or something, which I have 2 copies of and nobody fucking talks about. But that is the first comic appearance of Crow on a back ad.
Nice.
Pre-Caliber. The book that I advertised that was a Grail, because I do not throw that term around lightly.
You don't.
I bought myself a Showcase 2240.
Nice.
Wow.
Holy shit, dude.
Wow.
Damn, dude. Yeah. Anyway.
Wow.
Good stuff, dude.
I believe it's a pretty copy.
Yeah, it is nice.
CGC.
Got a stamp on it too.
Clean.
Oh, I know it's got the stamp on it. That's so awesome.
I am not a Silver Age junkie, but this was a book that in my goals was to get something in that 4 to 5 range. I got it. Very fucking happy with my life right now.
That is awesome, man. Yeah. You're good.
That's
awesome. Dude, you're closing out 2020 the right way.
Yeah.
This was like a character that sometimes gets a little lost, but man, fucking I loved him as a kid, and fucking Green Lantern was the shit. Hal Jordan before there were 72 Green Lanterns. Love it. I'm very happy to have it.
Nothing wrong with buying yourself a Christmas gift.
And that's my Grail. I don't throw it around often. I have a few. That's one of them.
Oh, that's a Grail, dude. You're right. Good job, man. Congrats on getting that, dude. I didn't know you got that. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I
what a
kept
good
it
book.
fucking quiet. I showed 2 guys. That's it. 2 guys. I showed
I
them
remember-
that book.
I remember I used to be on your MySpace top 10.
You were.
Top 8, bro. Come on.
You know what?
Yeah.
I always had to kick that fucking guy Tom out of there. I was like, dude, we're not even friends, bro.
One was Ozzy though, so to be fair, Ozzy knew.
It's all good. I'm totally kidding.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Very cool.
Anybody got anything else for tonight?
Good show.
Oh.
Thanks for everybody who hung out.
Hey, I'm just happy I was able to get on.
I know, right?
I'm guilty.
Tonight.
I don't think I've talked to you guys in like a month.
Well, you had a good vacation, I hope.
No, I have no vacation.
Oh,
I was at a soccer tournament over the weekend. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you score any goals?
me against 14-year-old girls? No.
Well, you got to practice more then, dude.
I know. I know. I'm terrible.
Well, I want to give one more shout out to. Let's do this real quick. If you guys know about Bird City Comics, you guys can go use the Flipside code word for 15% off. They've got some really gorgeous Greg Horn exclusives coming out for Carnage Gwenum. That is going to be announced tomorrow night on Comic Book Women. Comic Book Women will have Greg Horn on for tomorrow night. So tune in. That is 6 p.m. on the Pacific Coast, 9 p.m. on the Eastern Coast. And yeah, so Greg Horn tomorrow night, Megan Hutchinson the 15th, and even more after that. So they're doing some amazing stuff over there. A really fun show to watch. Probably the funniest show on our network. A lot of people really enjoy it, and you guys should check it out. Other than that, of course, make sure you guys do yourself a favor and check out the Dark Side Crew and their Mandalorian episodes they do on Sundays. You can also find them. They drop their regular shows on Wednesdays. Might be moving to Thursdays soon. We've got some big things at the network going down, so a lot of new stuff coming in the future. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Hit that bell so you are reminded every time. And other than that, we will see you guys next time. Peace out.